This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No.
Y'all, just stop. Get real.
Welcome to DBL. Well, hello there. It's so fantastic to see you guys, and you as well.
Good to see you. You've been gone, man. How you doing?
I'm feeling refreshed and ready to go. And of course, we're going to tackle something really exciting, a controversial topic. It's abortion. But we got to talk about this. Now that Roe v. Wade has been overturned, the president is considering declaring a public health emergency to free up federal resources to promote abortion access. Meantime, over the weekend, protests continue in states where abortion is now illegal, including in St. Louis, where demonstrators blocked a highway. Check this out, too. A pregnant woman in Texas was pulled over for driving in the carpool lane, and she was given a $275 ticket. She's now fighting back, claiming her unborn child was the second passenger in the car. Here's what she explained to our affiliate WFAA in Dallas.
One law saying that it's a baby, and now he's telling me that this baby that's jabbing my ribs is not a baby. Why can't it all make sense?
But this brings up a bunch of questions about the rights of the unborn in states where abortion is now legal. Like, can you claim an unborn child on your taxes? What do you all think of this? I flew my pen out because I was so excited to talk about this. It is interesting to think if it is a person. I looked up a little bit and did some research. Do you give child support at conception? Do you deport? Do they get a name and a social security number? Can you insure the baby? Are they on the census? So all these things started to slippery slope here. What do you think, Linz?
First, talk about the woman who was driving. I started with that story and was like, come on now, you just wanted to go fast and wanted to. But, outside of that, there is some merit to that because Mitt Romney and some other Republican leaders have introduced a bill January of this year that actually provides a tax credit for expectant moms. And as somebody who just had a baby, it actually would be helpful if we recognize that how much money is spent during pregnancy to prepare people for the unborn child. And so I think that it's not a bad idea because a lot of people say that conservatives have this idea where they're trying to say, you need to keep your baby and do all these things, and women should be able to choose. But in that, they're not supporting them at any point during the process when they're actually born. And so I feel like this is a way to help moms and parents, especially like myself who were unexpected parents, prepare for the incoming kid. And so even things like avoiding a $275 ticket is probably helpful when you're preparing for a new expensive baby.
But if that's a person, that changes sort of everything, right? Like, how do you feel about that? If that's an unborn person is now a passenger, that creates a whole other lane. You can't have it both ways. It's either not born or born.
Yeah, I think she's trying to get out of a ticket. Just to put it plain and simple.
You don't think it's a protest?
I don't think so. I think, you're taking a social issue and throwing it into something like a traffic ticket. You used that lane, you knew what you were doing, there was no one else in the car, and now you're using this as an excuse. Pretty good one. I like what you said about, helping mothers, expectant mothers. I like the idea of that, like with some sort of tax credit. But listen, we're in America, and you are not American until you start paying taxes, and that baby is not paying taxes. And when it does, and you get a social security number, then I'll count you as a person. Until you're paying taxes, you are not a person in the United States.
And I have to disagree with you, starting off on a good foot, as we always do. I do think she was trying to make a protest. I think she went on the news for that reason. And I also think dozens of women are now in a caravan, pregnant women, trying to prove that this is a slippery slope that won't work. I think it's interesting.
What do you mean? A caravan?
A lot of pregnant women are going in a caravan in the HOV lanes, hoping that they will get pulled over so they can say, hey, if you're claiming this is a person, then I don't have a ticket.
But if you're in the HOV lane in a caravan, there's more than one person in there.
No, in a caravan, not a car caravan, like a line of cars.
That was a weird point
analogy,
you brought because someone said at a
understood.
morning meeting and Irene made fun of her, Sam Shocker, and so I'm making fun of you.
That's good. All right. Well, here's an interesting workaround for women seeking abortion services in the South, where we know it's now illegal. A doctor in California has proposed a floating abortion clinic, stay with me, in the Gulf of Mexico as a way for folks in Texas, Louisiana, Alabama to get access. So what do you think of this idea? The idea is very interesting and outside the box. It's because it's federal waters, right? It's maritime law. There's jurisdiction doesn't cover it. Thoughts? I thought this was brilliant.
It's giving me Ozark vibes. They had the not to even make a joke because it's a serious issue, but I was just like, really, is this going to work? I feel like it's going to just open up, like you said, it opens up Pandora's box to what else can be floating. Like, I know right now, even with weed, it's not federally recognized, so some people have to bank certain places. Like, I don't know how we need to kind of organize what the plan's going to be. I also think, you know, there were opportunities to codify Roe versus Wade into law, like especially in 2008 when Obama was president and the House and the Senate were both led by Democrats, and that wasn't done. And so now we're just trying to figure out the way forward. And if, you know, the Supreme Court did decide to give this back to states so they can make the decision, I think people living in these states have understood that some states are trying to block them from having abortions for the last like 20 years now. I mean, there's states that have laws where you can that I don't agree with, that you can pretty much hunt people down and call them up and say, oh, this person's getting an abortion, and then it's like a bounty hunter situation.
True, but Roe v. Wade has been very accessible and legal and thankfully protected for decades. So people, I think women didn't think it would end so very quickly. For me, Democrats are getting...
People didn't think it was going to end very quickly. This has been a conversation on the table for like
all
literally...
3 Supreme Court justices went to the Senate and said Roe v. Wade is settled law. We are not going to change it. They blatantly lied, in my opinion. And when they got in there and changed it, I was shocked that Roe was actually overturned so quickly. Maybe I'm naive about it, but I don't think Roe v. Wade looked like it was going to topple so quickly, so fast, in my opinion.
I just feel like it's a conflicting argument because sometimes people are like, this has been happening for 40 years in the making. For certain people have been trying to get this not turned into a law, trying to make sure it's not codified, trying to make sure the Supreme Court is stacked in a certain way.
Protected right.
So which one is it? Is this surprising, or is this something that's been planned for the last 40 years?
It's been a constitutional right for 40, 50 years. To me, that seems like it's very clear stated. What do you think?
I think when you think of the clinics on the water, it sounds silly, but
it's a good idea.
But think about all the riverboats, right? They really beat that law, the loopholes. Illinois included, right, where I grew up, they put that casino on a river and just built a boat around it, and now all of a sudden it's legal to do so. And now all of a sudden they just go, well, you know what, it's legal anyway. So they just put their hands up and they gave up because the city or the state's making so much money anyway from that. So you might think this is a silly idea about putting it on the water, but any sort of loophole, people are going to figure out when you change laws. They're going to find a loophole, find a backdoor, find a POV lane, and do something else.
Yeah. I was like, point of view.
A POV lane. I also want
to say... All right, I screwed that one up.
You did.
Tomato, caravan, like, okay.
I also want to say there is an interesting push to think outside the box.
What does HOV stand for?
Humans on vehicles.
Vacation.
That's right. That's right. That's what it is. I don't know. We'll look it up for you.
What was Steve said? What did you say it was? High occupancy vehicle.
That's
I think I knew that. Like in the back of my mind.
I do want to
see. I like to learn something when I make a stupid mistake. So there you go.
I'm very proud of you.
Yes.
I will say this though, that some people are pushing also that federal buildings be used as abortion clinics because states can't touch the land that they're on. So to me, you took away the rights. Democrats, you got to figure out a way to fight this because guess what? 64% of the people aren't into Biden representing the Democrats. So we got to think outside the box. Loopholes, I think, are it, and I hope we find more of them. Coming up on DBL, getting swimsuit ready is simpler than you think. Dr. Gundry stopped by DBL to dish the facts on healthy summer weight loss. But first, an avalanche threatens a hiker and sea lions chase away beachgoers. We'll show you crazy videos from vacations gone wrong.
Closed captioning provided by
DBL is all new every day.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was like, you know, I have a fun story about this dress. So the dress wasn't expensive, but Kate Middleton wore the blue version of this dress when she got engaged to Prince William.
No way.
And so it sold out, and then the designer was so overwhelmed she went out of business.
All right.
Well, that's a silly thing to do.
Well, I think she just couldn't keep up, and then maybe that wasn't her passion. Like, I'm not sure.
Maybe sell that to somebody like.
Right, but it's a nice, good.
Well, there you go. I like the backstory.
It's called Issa.
Issa?
Yeah, it's a kind of local British designer. So.
Well, there you go.
If you guys brought her back by now, this was like 10 years ago, so you brought her back. She might be back in business, but I think she was overwhelmed by the order. You know, that can happen, especially like when people were doing like the supporting black businesses. Like some of them were overwhelmed, like when it was like a month of like support.
But that's a good problem.
That's a good problem, but not if people are waiting 4 weeks for their stuff, 5 weeks, and then start putting bad reviews.
And then you get a bad.
Right, and then it turns into like I'm never ordering again.
Yeah.
So it's like a slippery slope.
That's true. That's true.
Of people
you think it's a good problem problem. But then if people are like, this company stinks, I
They
didn't get
can't
my
keep
car.
up. I got it in December.
Yeah,
I ordered it
yeah,
in for
yeah. I
you.
would contact like a bigger department store or something that could handle that and be like, listen, I'm selling out. I can't handle this.
Right.
Maybe partner up, or you want to buy this out.
Right.
You know.
So real quick, she's going to start by, she's been off for a little while, and maybe maybe someone can throw to her what
I
you do.
tried
what'd
to
you
in the
do for your
beginning, I
week?
didn't touch you, but I guess we'll
It's all
do it here.
B-block.
Yeah, we'll do it here because then we're talking about travel videos, sort of.
Got it, okay.
And then if you guys want to talk about what you did this weekend or anything, you can have a little just conversation or not, whatever.
Okay.
Before we get to the videos.
We did this last week. It's your turn.
Yeah.
Did y'all do it?
Yeah, how you doing? Where you been?
Yeah.
Yeah. Houston's not
Don't
doesn't really
pretend
count.
like you don't want to talk about what you did for 2 weeks.
You're such a salty man.
Well, you know you want to talk about it.
Welcome back. So it is the summer travel season, and I just got back from a few weeks away.
We
and
missed you.
I really missed you guys too, and I had a nice time decompressing. I wanted to show a couple pictures if I could. I went to visit my in-laws in the, this is
Look
in
at
DC.
that high quality photo.
Yeah, so
Nice.
that's by the Capitol. We went to see the fireworks, and then I was saying then we went to a pool. Sorry,
Nice.
just me in a pool. There's the fireworks. Yeah.
You got to paint the picture. You went to
All
two
right,
places.
But here's the deal. When I looked at the Capitol, I don't want to be like stupid, but it was interesting that we spent so much time talking about the insurrection in January 6th, and I was like staring at it, and it was really interesting to see. I felt very proud to be a Washingtonian, and then it stood that day. I know that sounds really lame, but it was pretty emotional seeing fireworks over a place that had caused so much harm and was so close to me. It was really interesting.
But did you guys ever on the vacation say, no politics, we're just gonna go
My whole
swimming?
family-
Obviously in that pool you were swimming. And
No,
just
I was
not...
reading, and my father and I, there's another picture I should have shown of me and my dad reading the Wall Street Journal in the pool. So no, we all talk politics. But it was, I don't know, I haven't seen my parents, and as they're getting older, it's just nice to just realize how important it is to show up. It's just important to show up. It doesn't matter what you do. You could sit at home and do nothing. You just show up. So it was lovely.
I agree.
What did
love
you guys do?
Well, we talked about it a little bit last week, but we kind of just hung out. We were waiting for you to get back, man. We were bored as heck.
Was it fun in here? Was the level?
No,
were
without you here,
happier?
it was just, oh man, the worst.
The worst? Thanks. Were you happier or no?
Was I happier?
Yeah.
Filling in for you?
Yeah. Or that I wasn't here?
No, I was great. No, I'm glad to have you back. I'm glad you had a good time, and way to go.
Look at that, a nice thing from Jeff to Tori.
All right, speaking of some summer travel, we've got some viral videos of some summer trips that didn't go quite according to plan. So up first, check out what one hiker, this is insane.
What?
Wait for this. He catches it on camera, he's overseas. This avalanche is from the top of a mountain. It started barreling down. At this point, I'd be moving.
Yeah, what?
Now wait. It keeps coming, and he actually, here he goes. Look at this. He had to
you
hide
think
behind
now?
a giant rock. Ooh! As the snow and ice came towards him, he is okay, as are his fellow, I believe, 9 hikers who just got some minor scrapes and cuts. Why aren't you moving?
Yeah, it's not worth the video, honestly. Just,
Move!
yeah.
Because you don't think that it's going to get to you. Listen, I would have dropped the phone, but who doesn't think? The person filming doesn't think.
I would think from this video, from my angle, my perspective, that thing is coming down the hill.
Yeah, but it's kind of like waves, right? You don't think like,
True.
oh, the ocean's not as strong as you think it is. And you get out there and then it corkscrews you onto your neck and you're like, whoa. You know, you
Yeah,
got to
no,
like
you're
learn
right.
the hard way.
Yeah.
Or at least maybe that's just me.
No, but I was always used to be terrified of avalanches, and that is why.
Same.
Shout out to the Colorado Avalanche.
Oh yeah, they won the Stanley
AVs.
Cup. Way to
There
go,
you go. I had to
Avs.
sneak that one in there.
Way to go. All right, this next video is from a beach in San Diego. This is a couple sea lions. They don't like them on their beach, chasing them away. Chasing them away. Go away. Looks like they were sick of sharing the space. They even go after some surfers. Good Lord. In the water. Nobody was hurt, and they ended up swimming away. Dude.
See, this is why
That's like me when I want a better table at a restaurant. Move! Everybody move!
I prefer a pool than the ocean any day. This is why.
Wow. You know it's a slow media day when we have nature videos.
You ain't lying. I get a sea lion.
I get it. Back to the corny jokes.
Coming up on DBL. If you want to look and feel your best this summer, you have to stick around. Dr. Stephen Gundry is here to tell us if we really have to give up the sweets.
During the pandemic, the federal government sent Americans 3 stimulus checks, and the Biden administration remains adamant a 4th stimulus is not on the way. Now, some social media users say California is sending its residents stimulus checks, this time for inflation, with some wondering, what about those who live in the other 49 states? So let's verify. Are some states sending out inflation relief checks? Our sources are California Governor Gavin Newsom, the California Budget Act of 2022, and the Departments of Revenue, Taxation, and Finance in these 11 states. In 2021, California collected more tax revenue than expected, leading to a historic $97 billion surplus. On June 26th, Newsom announced the state would refund a 1/5 of the surplus back to Californians in the form of an inflation relief package. Families could get more than $1,000 deposited into their accounts, depending on their income, and California isn't alone. Georgia announced in May that it would also issue a one-time tax refund while citing the high cost of inflation. Other states soon followed, and to date, 12 states have announced they're refunding money back to taxpayers, with many branding the refund as a way to help families with the cost of inflation. So, yes, some states are sending out inflation relief checks that are coming from tax surpluses. How much money and when the money will arrive depends on the policy for residents of the 12 states who are issuing the payment, so you'll want to check with them for details. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter answers your questions, clarifies what's true and false, and even includes a daily fun fact. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
Have you ever heard of a polyphenol? Well, according to Dr. Stephen Gundry, they have amazing health benefits, and olive oil is full of them. So if you want to get your body ready for summer and see us endure a shot of olive oil, and a warning to our viewers, if you're going to do this at home, do half of what we did, not the full amount. Check it out. So Dr. G, you practice what you preach, and we all want to feel good in our bathing suits this summer, including me. So this summer, what are some healthy ways to do just that?
Well, one of the things that people can do right away is to actually get some healthy fats into their diet. And by healthy, I mean, why not start every day with an avocado? There was a study published just this week making people have an avocado every day. Now, it didn't change their body fat composition, but it actually lowered their bad cholesterol.
Oh.
And people felt better eating that avocado. There's great ways to get avocado into your diet. In fact, in my cookbook, we make an avocado chocolate ice cream that you can make at home in an ice cream maker. And who doesn't like ice cream? Who doesn't like chocolate? But making it out of avocado, woo, you're going to get in that swimsuit right away.
Woo. Okay, we're all going to be in our swim trunks. We're going to look good. How do we keep those flat abs so people keep staring at us for the good reasons?
Well, to get those flat abs, you actually have to lose belly fat to start showing
There's always
off
a catch.
Those abs. And the way to get rid of belly fat is to actually get more what I call polyphenols in your diet. Now, people go, polyphenol, what's the acronym of polyphenol? Polyphenol are those bright colored plant compounds that we see in the rainbow of colors that you can eat in fruits and vegetables. And as I show in my new book, Unlocking the Keto Code, polyphenols actually do a caloric bypass on you. You can eat more food and lose more weight just by adding these colorful fruits and vegetables into your diet. And they're available this summer. But here's a quick trick. Fruit has been bred for sugar content. So even blueberries now, are the size of grapes, and that's full of sugar. So a quick trick, everybody's got a juicer at home. Get your organic fruit, throw it through the juicer. Get this, throw the juice away. It's pure sugar. Take the pulp and put it in plain goat yogurt, plain sheep yogurt, plain coconut yogurt, and you will have the best treat and dessert you'll ever have.
Okay, so for our viewers who may not actually know that Al clearly knows this. You're a trendsetter because you invented that viral healthy cola, which is just sparkling water and balsamic vinegar. Do you have any other trends up your sleeve?
Yeah, in fact, vinegar may be one of the great secrets for losing weight. And as I talk about in Unlocking the Keto Code, vinegar, whether it's balsamic vinegar, whether it's apple cider vinegar, have these compounds that actually make your mitochondria waste fuel. So it turns you from a Toyota Prius into a Ferrari.
Ooh, yeah.
And you just burn through the calories just by having vinegars. I mean, who knew?
And I also, listen, your book is phenomenal. You also talk a lot about olive oil in it. We have olive oil shots, apparently. Is this a thing? Are we supposed to, are we doing this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Tuesday is my birthday, July 11th, and it also is National Polyphenol Day. I kid you not. And the more polyphenols you get into you, the better your health, the longer you live, and the better you look in that bathing suit. All right, you ready?
All right, we're cheersing your birthday.
Cheers.
Wow. This is real olive oil, just so people know.
Olive oil.
It's a polyphenol.
All right, Dr. G, to you. That was disgusting.
That wasn't bad.
I feel like that. I feel like that guy from that kid from Stand By Me.
Oh boy, no.
You know why we're doing this? 3 of the blue zones, the longest living people in the world, have a liter of olive oil per week. That's 10 to 12 tablespoons a day.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Oh my goodness.
Doc,
okay.
we gotta have you back.
We have to have you back for a longer segment. So DBL Nation, in celebration of National Polyphenol Day, Dr. G is offering promos on his favorite foods all month long, and you can follow at Gundry MD for more. And don't forget to pick up a copy of Unlocking the Keto Code. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, Doc.
Thanks, Doc.
Great to see you guys.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
The dog days of summer are here, and so too are high utility bills. Many Verify viewers reached out with questions about ways they've heard to beat the heat. So we looked into whether they actually work. First up, will closing your blinds help keep your home cooler? So let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. Department of Energy and Lowe's. When sunlight hits double pane windows with the blinds open, the DOE says about 76% of it turns into heat. You can help lower that number by closing the blinds. Lowe's recommends using a white blind or shade because it will help deflect more heat. The DOE says the exact percentage saved also depends on the material of your blinds. For example, an insulated shade could reduce unwanted heat by up to 60%, while using just a white curtain will help reduce the heat by a third. So, yes, closing your blinds will help keep your home cooler. All right. Next up is a question I frequently ask myself when heading to work. Does turning off the AC at home when I leave for the day save money? Admittedly, the answer to this question has a lot of variables, like where you live and how hot it is outside. Generally, our energy experts recommend leaving the air on during the day. Just turn it up a few degrees. Duke Energy explains you'll use less energy keeping your home at a modest temperature throughout the day, rather than blasting the AC when you get home to try and cool the house. Nebraska's Southwest Public Power District notes turning off your AC could cause your refrigerator to work extra hard to keep food cold, which would negate any savings from turning off the air. Plus, humidity levels may increase, leading to mold, mildew, and causing damage to electronics. So, no, in general, turning off the AC when leaving for the day does not save money. This brings us to our final question about staying cool. So, let's verify. Is there a right temperature to maximize savings? The DOE and Energy Star say setting the AC to 78 degrees is the ideal temperature to maximize savings when you're home. This is about 10% cheaper than setting it at 74 degrees. If you live in an especially warm area, then HVAC technicians recommend setting your AC 20 degrees cooler than the outdoor temperature to avoid straining your air conditioning. So, yes, there is a right temperature to maximize savings. We hope these tips help save you a bit of money this summer. We feature even more of your questions about staying cool on verifythis.com. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Turns out, mowing your lawn in different directions does a lot more than just make your grass look good. Let's connect the dots. According to the experts, the direction you push the mower can make or break your turf. That's because if you mow your lawn in the same direction every time, the grass blades will start to grow in that direction. By alternating patterns, you let the blades grow straighter and healthier. Switching directions also avoids rutting. That's because if you run your mower the same way each week, ruts will start to form. It's not just direction that matters, but length too. If you cut your grass too short, you can end up with dead or dying patches scattered across the lawn. Experts say every lawn is different, but you should generally cut your grass at about 2.5 to 3 inches tall.
Welcome back to DBL. All right, we got to get to this story. Former baseball player Derek Jeter, we all know him. He's clearing up a long-standing rumor about him. Legend has it that Derek used to give out swag bags of his own memorabilia, including autographed baseballs to the ladies he hooked up with. It was also reported one woman got 2 identical gift baskets on 2 separate occasions, but apparently none of it's true. Derek set the record straight on the ESPN docuseries The Captain, saying the gift baskets never happened.
Of course he's going to say that.
Right, and at first I was like, ew, and then I was like, huh.
Well, you know that, let's say somebody gets with a celebrity, they're always going to tell that story to everybody, probably. And so if you have an actual signed baseball, this might actually prove that you're not just BSing everybody, if I can say that.
That's when you're like, oh, really?
Yeah, like, oh, you don't believe me?
Well, I've heard this rumor, and I actually thought it was true. Yeah, I heard he used to, well, again, he probably cleared all this up, but I heard he used to bring women into his house, right? There'd be a basket, and everyone at the after party had to put their cell phone in there, so there was no pictures. And this was a long time ago, right? And then they get a gift basket on their way out.
Wow.
So this was a story that's kind of, that I've heard before. But it's weird how you hear these stories or where they come from and then saying it's not even true. Kind of like, what rings true Richard Gere and a so-called gerbil, but I'm just saying, these stories, I would like maybe a whole show done on these rumors
this is up your alley.
To clear it up.
This is up your alley.
Not up my alley.
I know, you were going to say that. I knew you were going to go there. I do want to say this. After a date, would it be that weird if you're first dating to give a gift basket?
But I think I prefer, get me a candle or something. I don't need your paraphernalia.
Like a candle?
Oh, yeah.
I love a good candle. Yeah,
so
please.
on your way out after a one-night stand, here's a little candle to remember.
Well, if you're going to give me gifts, okay, here's my tie and my shirt. What would you give? I wouldn't want that crap. I want stuff that I like.
I'd give you the trash to take out on your way.
That's so desperate. I think a nice gift basket with maybe a Chili's gift card, something
I can use. Amazon gift card.
Amazon, Starbucks.
Is this something you expect?
No, I'm saying it could be. It's a new thing.
If Colin gave me a gift basket, I'd be flattered.
Would you really? I would view that as insulting.
Well, I might start a new thing here, everyone. It's called the Tory. DBL is new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Gift bag.
Bye, guys.
Or not gift bag. Bye, guys.
Could turning on this machine create a black hole? This is the Large Hadron Collider, one of the largest particle accelerators in the world, operated by the European Organization for Nuclear Research, known as CERN. On July 5th, it was powered up after a 3-year upgrade and maintenance hiatus. The news prompted conspiracy theories to spread online, with people speculating what might happen after the machine was turned on. Verify viewer Wilson emailed to ask if CERN's Large Hadron Collider can open up a cosmic black hole. So let's verify. Our sources are CERN, the U.S. Department of Energy, NASA, and Dejan Stojkovic, a physics professor with the University of Buffalo. According to NASA, cosmic black holes form in space when stars much bigger than the sun collapse on themselves. The result is, quote, gravitational field so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape, and a gravitational pull so powerful that it can pull in nearby material and, quote, eat it. The CERN LHC can't create a cosmic black hole, but here's what it can do. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, a particle accelerator speeds up the smallest known particles, such as electrons or protons, to very high energies, which, according to CERN, allows researchers to study what happens and potentially gain insights into fundamental laws of nature. Physics professor Dejan Stojkovic told Verify in an email that current technologies aren't capable of creating a cosmic black hole, adding, quote, we need an accelerator as big as the whole universe to do that, So we should either improve our technology drastically or we should build a bigger accelerator, unquote. So we can verify, no, CERN's Large Hadron Collider particle accelerator can't create a cosmic black hole. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. If a cosmic black hole were created when CERN turned on that machine, Stojkovic says surrounding material would fall into that black hole until the whole Earth was swallowed. But that's clearly not what happened. Instead,
About today on Daily Blast Live.
A pregnant woman fights a carpool lane ticket with the recent Roe v. Wade reversal. Should her unborn baby count as a passenger? Crazy videos from hikers getting caught in an avalanche.
Oh, dear God.
To sea lions chasing after people on the beach. Florence Pugh calls out body shamers after wearing a see-through dress while she's telling men to grow up. And the coupon queen of the internet will be here live with easy ways you can save some major moolah.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here, drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Tori and Erica back with the team.
Yeah.
Finally.
Thanks for having us back.
Yeah.
This morning I woke up and I was like, do I still have a job?
Yeah. I used my card and I was like, does it beep? It beeps. I'm still
gone for a long time. We're happy that you're back. We're going to actually take a couple moments coming up soon, so stay tuned to hear about both of y'all's little trips, okay?
Okay.
Big trips. Like Jeff and I just went to like a nearby lake. They went on big trips. Good one, Jeff. Okay. All right, the gang's all back. Okay, so we are going to kick things off with a very controversial topic. Abortion. Now that Roe v. Wade has been overturned, the president is considering declaring a public health emergency to free up federal resources to promote abortion access. So meantime, over the weekend, protests continue in states where abortion is now illegal, including in St. Louis, where demonstrators blocked, as you can see right there, they blocked an entire highway. Well, I want you to, okay, so you may have seen this because this has gone viral. Check out this woman, okay? She's a pregnant woman in Texas. She was pulled over for driving in the carpool lane, and she was given a $275 ticket. Well, she's fighting back, claiming her unborn child was the second passenger in the car. Here's what she explained to our affiliate WFAA in Dallas.
One law saying that it's a baby, and now he's telling me that this baby that's jabbing my ribs is not a baby. Why can't it all make sense?
So this actually brings up a bunch of questions about the rights of the unborn in states where abortion is now illegal. Like, can you claim an unborn child on your taxes? Tori, what do you think of this? And I should also say that since this woman has spoken out about her incident, there has been caravans of women in protest going in these lanes saying, pregnant women saying, oh, but I'm not alone. I have a child with me.
Yeah, you can't have it one way and not the other, right? The Constitution, if you want to take away a fundamental right and say that that is a person, then do I pay child support? Does it get a name? Does it get Social Security? Does it get deported? If the mom goes to jail, is it wrongfully accused? I mean, these are questions that are going to tie up the courts in knots for years and years and years. So bravo to these women to say, here's your first issue with this, right? You took away our rights. This is what we're going to come back with. If you're going to say this is a human, can I claim this as a dependent? I mean, that's what you're going to get. And good for them fiscally to go that route, because that's going to be hitting them where it counts, and that's the wallet. Right now, it's very clear that Biden has 64% of the Democrats saying, we don't want you. Okay? No one's fighting for women. And no one's out there thinking outside the box, codifying Roe, all these things. This woman sort of set the spark off.
Well, what would you say to the people, though? Because, you know, we do have viewers that write in saying that this is a victory. So we have to address that side.
And if it is a victory, which I know a lot of people do, and I want to respect that, then it has to be a person, though, throughout. It can't be a person when you want it to be, and not when it's convenient. That doesn't work in legal minds. It doesn't work.
I have nothing to add to that other than, no, I 100% agree, other than the fact that I think that pregnant women should be allowed to be in HOV lanes. Why? I just believe that just based on being pregnant, you should be able to do that.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
There should be a lot of benefits for pregnant women, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if this was a great, clever idea to try to get out of a ticket, but that's what I think it is. I don't know if you're going to get out of that ticket. If you're in that lane, you need to have another passenger. I get the complaint. I get how it's clever. I'm all for clever. Right. I get the loophole, but I don't know if that's necessarily going to get you out of a ticket and tie the courts up. I don't think you are an American in this country till you start paying taxes, and that happens the day after you come out of the womb.
Oh, Tori just did this to you.
What's that?
You missed it, like a boom.
Well, that's the point. So if you're saying that's true, once they're born, that's a person. And by the way, that's what Jewish people in their religion feel. The first breath is when they become a person. And Jews are now suing, saying it's not my religion that it's against. So if that's true, though, then you got to make that fair for everything.
Right.
So not only traffic tickets, a lot of things.
Let me get in this next beat really quickly, because there is, here's an interesting, I would say, workaround for women seeking abortion services. I don't know if you guys have heard this. This is specifically for women in the South, where it's now illegal. A doctor in California has proposed a floating abortion clinic in the Gulf of Mexico as a way for folks in Texas, Louisiana, and Alabama to get access. What do we think of this idea? What do you think, Jeff? Oh, go ahead, Erica.
Well, this is terrifying to me because out of everything, other than the fact that we have less rights than our mothers did, it's a safety issue. This is a major safety issue. Anytime you start taking away someone's personal rights, liberties, and freedoms, then that is a dog whistle to people to say that they aren't as valuable, important, or as much of a human as you are. And that makes them and their lives placed in jeopardy. If you are going to do something like this, and I understand that we're going to have to figure out how to move forward should Roe versus Wade be overturned completely and permanently.
Right.
Then yes, there are going to have to be ways to do that. Having a floating center is going to also allow people to know where that in and out is for women who need to get abortion assistance.
See, I think it's a good thing.
See, I'm talking about just the idea of people knowing that that's what that is. It's the same thing that really hits home to me with the idea of a woman not being able to get an abortion if she's pregnant, and maybe that man doesn't want a child. Maybe that man doesn't want a child so much that now her life is in jeopardy because he's going to ensure that she doesn't have that child. Maybe that man's married. Maybe that's someone whose family doesn't want them to have a baby that isn't aligned or in the same color or religion or whatever it is as the rest of the family. We are talking about endangering women every single day. There are so many domestic disputes, so many domestic altercations that occur over pregnancy. So this to me is just another way of people knowing this is exactly the reason why this person has to go into the Gulf of Mexico to get assistance. I agree that there needs to be workarounds.
Yeah.
I'm just scared for what something like this means.
Wow. All right, well, coming up on DBL, Florence Pugh is clapping back at body shamers online. Her message for them after wearing a see-through dress to an event. And is clipping coupons really worth your time? The queen of coupons is here live with the answer. But first, an avalanche threatens a hiker, and sea lions chase away beachgoers. Look at them. Good for them. We'll show you the crazy videos from vacations gone wrong.
Closed captioning provided by
DBL is all new every day.
Tiffany, how was your break? Good?
It was good. I went to Kansas City.
Oh, nice. And you had a good time?
I did.
Good.
I just relaxed.
That's what everyone needs. I guess I was saying, sorry to jump back. I was thinking.
I want to hear I want to hear your point of view and then Jeff's point of view.
What did you think about the floating?
The floating.
I don't think it's that silly, all in all, right? It's a way to work around the law, right? And I use that example of like floating casinos. In Illinois, you couldn't gamble, but if you put it on a riverboat and build a casino around that, you beat the law. And that's what they did, and then eventually became legal. I think this is a good way around the law by being legal, not
Yeah, what if
to
there's
those
a bunch
standards.
of protesters like that are bounty hunters
Yeah, but
and take
how is
them
that different
on
than
their own?
any other abortion clinic? You know, the clinics are there. This is a clinic as well. There could be other things out there. And I just think it's a clever way around the law.
I agree. I think it's a clever loophole. If you don't know maritime law, it doesn't have jurisdiction with the state, so they can't touch it. I also think that some people are promoting federal buildings.
Oh, I heard this
being used. So like a Capitol building, right, or a federal building they have their own jurisdiction on their land. As a state can't say anything. So turn that into an abortion clinic, or have a space for a Planned Parenthood in the lobby.
But the federal budget has never once contributed, not even a dime or a penny, to abortions.
Right.
Even when they supported Planned Parenthood, they had it allocated separately. And I should just say Planned Parenthood, 90-something% of their donations goes to women's health care, which is largely like mammograms and gynecological exams. I just think people should know that. But federally, they've never...
Which doesn't preclude that they can.
But would they do it if their precedent so far has been to stay away?
Biden needs to do something. So if this, I agree, but the Democrats either have to do this or they lose in the midterms. All right, bye.
We have exciting.
Welcome back. So it's the summer travel season, and before we get into like some of these vacation or videos gone wrong, we want to hear about your trips. So you went all over the place.
Yeah, I was all over the place. I started with my sister, my mom and dad in Belize, and that was awesome. Wow. That's actually not Belize. This is okay. These are like all the random things that happened. My mom's birthday. I did
class.
Yes, there was an art. Well, my mom wanted to do a pause and paint for her birthday.
Good for her.
And so we did that on their deck, and then they have a dock. My mom's now in this boating community on the river. So I think we might have these Jello shots because my mother ran me this week. Okay, we had to make 800 Jello shots for this boating thing that they do every year on the river, and my mom wants to be a part of this community now. So we did all these things.
Good for her.
It was crazy.
Like a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, I am exhausted.
You're tired.
Yeah.
You need a vacation from your vacation.
Totally.
And Michael Dean, I'm sorry, I was supposed to start with Tori, but I didn't. But Tori, tell us about your trip.
No worries. I know. I like that boaters wave to each other. I always thought that was nice.
Well, it's to make sure you see each other.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Etiquette. Boating etiquette.
Did not know that.
Anything to acknowledge Tori. I'm here. Oh, hi.
I should move out of the way. I didn't trying to tell you.
Go. I went back to Cape Cod for my in-laws, but DC to see my family, and we saw the 4th in DC over the Capitol. Here's my family on the wharf. My dad looking at the U.S. Capitol, and I know this is lame and kind of corny and not cool, but and then we were in a pool.
You guys are dancing.
Yeah, but it's really neat to talk and see the Capitol that you and I and all of us have been spending so much time discussing about January 6th, and see the fireworks over what really has become a beacon of American democracy. It's not Jello shots. Do I wish it were? Yes.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, but it was lovely to see that and be with my father, who instilled that within me.
I love it. Really quickly, I'm going to show you a photo of, I went to see Minions over the weekend, and I just thought it was bananas that when, first of all, my husband fell asleep, and I was like, I can't believe he's sleeping. I would love to take a 2-hour nap. And then I look around, there was about 20 dads in the theater. I'd say 15 of them were asleep. That's not okay. That's not fair.
No, the moms have to be awake for everything.
It's not okay. The difference between moms and dads. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, speaking of summer travel, we've got some viral videos of some summer trips that didn't quite go according to plan. So up first, check out what one hiker caught on camera while traveling overseas. Okay, look at this. A giant avalanche from the top of the mountain started barreling down. Now, the hiker actually hid behind a giant rock as the snow and ice came toward him. He is okay, as are his fellow hikers who just got some minor scrapes and cuts.
That is
what would you do?
We'll jump behind that rock. I don't think people take Mother Nature as serious as they should. That person probably thought it was just going to roll down the side of the hill. Just like when you're in a wave or something, the ocean is very powerful, and if you're not careful, things like this happen.
Wow. Yes. Okay, speaking of the ocean, this next video is from a beach in San Diego. Watch as a couple of sea lions chase away some of the folks on the beach. Looks like they were sick of sharing their space. They even go after some of the surfers in the water. Nobody was hurt, and they ended up swimming away. I don't blame them. Look how many people are jammed in that cove.
There's not room for everybody.
Yeah, and that's the sea lion's home.
It's their house.
It is kind of like Yeah, like for the first time, they're fighting back.
Good.
Good for I hear you. They're not lying.
That's if Jeff were a sea lion, that would be Jeff.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. Those are like protesters to me. I'm sticking anything to a stick and running around the beach.
Excuse me? That's your lawn. What would you do if 300 people showed up
I'd go to a different
to
lawn.
your own lawn?
I don't know, Sam. This video stinks.
You don't like this video?
I mean, come on.
Yeah. What would you do if you were there?
I don't know.
Nothing?
Head for the hills.
You would head for the hills? Okay.
What goes up must come down.
Okay. I have a lot of experience with sea lions because in Santa Cruz, 10, okay. I'll tell you guys in one of the breaks.
Please,
I can give
please.
you tips
I'm on pins and
about
needles.
seals and sea lions and even elephant seals.
Whoa.
I will give you all the details.
Excellent.
Coming up on DBL. The coupon queen is here live. There she is. If you enjoy saving money, you're going to want to stick around. We're back in 2 minutes.
Suffer from pain?
During the pandemic, the federal government sent Americans 3 stimulus checks, and the Biden administration remains adamant a 4th stimulus is not on the way. Now, some social media users say California is sending its residents stimulus checks, this time for inflation, with some wondering, what about those who live in the other 49 states? So, let's verify. Are some states sending out inflation relief checks? Our sources are California Governor Gavin Newsom, the California Budget Act of 2022, and the Departments of Revenue, Taxation, and Finance in these 11 states. In 2021, California collected more tax revenue than expected, leading to a historic $97 billion surplus. On June 26th, Newsom announced the state would refund a 5th of the surplus back to Californians in the form of an inflation relief package. Families could get more than $1,000 deposited into their accounts, depending on their income, and California isn't alone. Georgia announced in May that it would also issue a one-time tax refund while citing the high cost of inflation. Other states soon followed, and to date, 12 states have announced they're refunding money back to taxpayers, with many branding the refund as a way to help families with the cost of inflation. So, yes, some states are sending out inflation relief checks that are coming from tax surpluses. How much money and when the money will arrive depends on the policy for residents of the 12 states who are issuing the payment, so you'll want to check with them for details. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter answers your questions, clarifies what's true and false, and even includes a daily fun fact. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
So we did have some technical difficulties with our guest. Shall I talk
But the good news is...
Yes. Elephant seal! Okay, so let me just tell you the difference between them, because let me tell you, that will decipher on how you act.
Fair.
So the seals, like if you ever peruse like the piers in San Francisco and you see all the seals at the piers, those are like the dogs of the sea.
Okay.
They're very friendly. They might jump on your surfboard and say hello. You don't have to worry about those seals. If you're in like the La Jolla Coves, that I believe is at the La Jolla Cove, also a good surf spot. Those are the sea lions. Very territorial.
Aggressive.
Especially if they have babies. You better back up. Now, elephant seals. Whew, if you go to Año Nuevo over in Northern California and you go see those elephant seals, they're like twice the size of this table.
See, I don't like animals.
Thousands of pounds. And they will do, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on TV. Am I? No. Well, they will have sexual activity with multiple elephant seals.
Polyamorous.
Yep. Sure. They will fight, and it's very scary to see them fight. And then they will sometimes do things to their babies that I don't like to watch. Oh. But anyways, stay away from elephant seals, sea lions, dogs of the sea. Seals are okay.
Oh. There could have been a cardboard cutout of me today, just sitting here. We need to get one of those, yeah.
Okay. We do have a story, though. We do have a story. They're all over the elephant seals, and they want me to tell a story. Okay, so Amber Heard is asking the court for a new trial against Johnny Depp. Amber's attorney claims the wrong juror sat in on the 6-week trial. The juror who showed up had the same last name, and address as the juror who was summoned to appear. What? But the court apparently did not catch it. So her legal team is asking the judge to throw it out or throw out the verdict. Meantime, Johnny seems to reference Amber in a new song with musician Jeff Beck. On the track titled Sad Bleeping Parade, Johnny sings, quote, "You're sitting there like a dog with a 7-year itch. If I had a dime, I wouldn't reach your hand." Oh, it wouldn't reach your hand. I don't get it.
It doesn't even rhyme.
That's not that good. Let's talk about the jury thing. Yeah, I do want to talk about that. I think they meant the dog and the whole thing with the bed and that situation with that. But with the jury thing, this is a real issue. If the wrong person came on jury duty because they had the same last name and never thought to check the first name, that is a mistrial in many, many judges' cases. And we're going to go through the whole thing all over
kidding.
again.
No, we not.
I'm not kidding you. If you have the wrong juror, you haven't been seen by a juror of your peers that you agreed to during voir dire, which we all know from my cousin Vinny, and you are absolutely allowed to.
Are they going to televise it again?
I don't know if the next judge will.
Look at Erica.
But is it really, like, truly, is it really enough to cause a mistrial?
Absolutely. That is absolutely jury misconduct.
How did they miss that?
Someone read the wrong name or wanted clout to get on the jury for Amber Heard.
Of course.
And they wanted to write a book. You know what I'm saying? Or they wanted to say I was in that jury.
Or didn't want to go and, like, have their...
And give, exactly.
Who's going to pay for this trial? It's our tax dollars.
Exactly. You are. Exactly.
You're paying for this, bro. Did you know that?
Well, we could slip in an Amber Heard story other than that seal story, you know? Like, so.
You know you learned something, and you know if you're ever at a beach with an elephant seal or a sea lion, you're going to run. If you see the cutie seal, you know you're going to be like, what up, cutie? Right?
We're still going.
Oh, my God. Jeff woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Wrong side of the bed? What are we doing here?
Go back to sleep and wake up on the other side, please.
Cool avalanche.
We'll be right back. That was a cool avalanche.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
The dog days of summer are here, and so too are high utility bills. Many Verify viewers reached out with questions about ways they've heard to beat the heat. So we looked into whether they actually work. First up, will closing your blinds help keep your home cooler? So let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. Department of Energy and Lowe's. When sunlight hits double-pane windows with the blinds open, the DOE says about 76% of it turns into heat. You can help lower that number by closing the blinds. Lowe's recommends using a white blind or shade because it will help deflect more heat. The DOE says the exact percentage saved also depends on the material of your blinds. For example, an insulated shade could reduce unwanted heat by up to 60%, while using just a white curtain will help reduce the heat by a third. So, yes, closing your blinds will help keep your home cooler. All right. Next up is a question I frequently ask myself when heading to work. Does turning off the AC at home when I leave for the day save money? Admittedly, the answer to this question has a lot of variables, like where you live and how hot it is outside. Generally, our energy experts recommend leaving the air on during the day. Just turn it up a few degrees. Duke Energy explains you'll use less energy keeping your home at a modest temperature throughout the day, rather than blasting the AC when you get home to try and cool the house. Nebraska's Southwest Public Power District notes turning off your AC could cause your refrigerator to work extra hard to keep food cold, which would negate any savings from turning off the air. Plus, humidity levels may increase, leading to mold, mildew, and causing damage to electronics. So, no, in general, turning off the AC when leaving for the day does not save money. This brings us to our final question about staying cool. So, let's verify. Is there a right temperature to maximize savings? The DOE and Energy Star say setting the AC to 78 degrees is the ideal temperature to maximize savings when you're home. This is about 10% cheaper than setting it at 74 degrees. If you live in an especially warm area, then HVAC technicians recommend setting your AC 20 degrees cooler than the outdoor temperature to avoid straining your air conditioning. So, yes, there is a right temperature to maximize savings. We hope these tips help save you a bit of money this summer. We featured even more of your questions about staying cool on VerifyThis.com. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Turns out, mowing your lawn in different directions does a lot more than just make your grass look good. Let's connect the dots. According to the experts, the direction you push the mower can make or break your turf. That's because if you mow your lawn in the same direction every time, the grass blades will start to grow in that direction. By alternating patterns, you let the blades grow straighter and healthier. Switching directions also avoids rutting. That's because if you run your mower the same way each week, ruts will start to form. It's not just direction that matters, but length too. If you cut your grass too short, you can end up with dead or dying patches scattered across the lawn. Experts say every lawn is different, but you should generally cut your grass at about 2.5 to 3 inches tall.
Welcome back. We are going to have that coupon queen later in the show. She's going to give us lots of advice and tips and tricks. But now we're going to talk about former baseball player Derek Jeter. He's clearing up a long-standing rumor about him. Legend has it that Derek used to give out swag bags of his own memorabilia, including autographed baseballs to the ladies he hooked up with. It was also reported one woman got 2 identical gift baskets on 2 separate occasions, but apparently none of it is true. Derek set the record straight on the ESPN docuseries The Captain, saying the gift baskets never happened. How weird would that be?
I think it's weird, but I've also heard this rumor. Like when you go to Derek Jeter's house, again, I don't know if this is true, but it's the rumor out there. If you're anybody, you go to after parties, because he'd have them, a very celebrity guy, shortstop for the New York Yankees, come on. You'd have to leave your phone at the door if you were going to come in his house, and then after you left, you had your fun, he'd give you a little gift basket.
Oh, God.
That's like the rumor, but he cleared it up, and apparently that's not true.
Memorabilia?
Yeah.
Well, you could sell it.
I do think it's lame that it's his memorabilia, but am I wrong that like a gift basket after like...
Oh, I do dig a good gift basket.
I love a gift basket.
Not after a one-night stand, y'all. How low is the bar possibly going to be? I mean, you got a stock item full in your closet of something that you give to every person that leaves after you hooked up with them. I would be so offended. I would be highly offended.
But I would go in knowing this is Derek Jeter, I'm making this decision, and like to get...
Depending what's in the gift basket, I'd be like, that's thoughtful.
Exactly. Totally. Right. If
Really?
Well, yeah, because, I mean, it's already a celebrity. It's already sort of a caricature of a story. Why not end with that kind of a note?
I'd be more offended that I'd have to turn in my phone. I'd be like, give me a break, buddy. Come on. I might need it to talk to the babysitter. Enough.
You're not going to be there if you need the babysitter.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why wouldn't I be invited there?
I don't know, Sam.
Shake Jeff.
Shake Jeff. What do you mean, why wouldn't you be there?
Why wouldn't I be there? You said because I had a babysitter. What's wrong
You're
with
out in Manhattan with the shortstop from the New York Yankees. You think he's like, is your family okay? No.
How do you
there's other singles around.
I was just simply saying that the reason why you're there also would be the antithesis of the reason why you would need to check in. Like, you don't want nobody to know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe people do want people to know.
You said he throws after parties. It's not just singles that go to the after parties.
It said after a hookup. Read that.
I know he said
But he used to throw after parties till like after the clubs close at 3 in the morning. What do you mean I can't? It's 3 a.m. Why are you out?
Why can't I be there? If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half
You're not
of the show
invited.
online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you get the second half of the show where you are, here is what's ahead. Florence Pugh is calling out body shaming comments online, why she's defending her decision to wear a see-through dress to an event. And imagine having a reality show with your best friend where you eat, drink, and party. We're joined by 2 comedians living the dream.
Could turning on this machine create a black hole? This is the Large Hadron Collider, one of the largest particle accelerators in the world, operated by the European Organization for Nuclear Research, known as CERN. On July 5th, it was powered up after a 3-year upgrade and maintenance hiatus. The news prompted conspiracy theories to spread online, with people speculating what might happen after the machine was turned on. Verify viewer Wilson emailed to ask if CERN's Large Hadron Collider can open up a cosmic black hole. So let's verify. Our sources are CERN, the U.S. Department of Energy, NASA and Dejan Stojkovic, a physics professor with the University of Buffalo. According to NASA, cosmic black holes form in space when stars much bigger than the sun collapse on themselves. The result is, quote, gravitational fields so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape, and a gravitational pull so powerful that it can pull in nearby material and, quote, eat it. The CERN LHC can't create a cosmic black hole, but here's what it can do. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, a particle accelerator speeds up the smallest known particles, such as electrons or protons, to very high energies, which, according to CERN, allows researchers to study what happens and potentially gain insights into fundamental laws of nature. Physics professor Dejan Stojkovic told Verify in an email that current technologies aren't capable of creating a cosmic black hole, adding, quote, we need an accelerator as big as the whole universe to do that, so we should either improve our technology drastically or we should build a bigger accelerator, unquote. So we can verify, no, CERN's Large Hadron Collider particle accelerator can't create a cosmic black hole. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. If a cosmic black hole were created when CERN turned on that machine, Stojkovic says surrounding material would fall into that black hole until the whole Earth was swallowed. But that's clearly not what happened. Instead, this is. Scientists identified 3 never-before-seen particles. With your Verify, I'm Ariane.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. So Florence Pugh is clapping back at online trolls after she wore a sheer dress to a fashion show. Florence posted pics in the see-through Valentino dress. Let me just look. Okay, well, we have a bar, so I can't see anything, saying she expected comments, both negative and positive, but didn't expect what she called, quote-unquote, vulgar comments from men, commenting on her chest size. On Instagram, she wrote, quote, what's been interesting to watch and witness is just how easy it is for men to totally destroy a woman's body publicly, proudly, for everyone to see. I've lived in my body for a long time. I'm fully aware of my breast size, and I'm not scared of it. What did you think, Erica, of the reaction?
I mean, it's pretty much par for the course. If she just happened to be wearing a more revealing piece, she looked beautiful, by the way.
She did look good.
Like a piece of art.
Didn't you think it? She's wearing great.
She really does.
Yeah.
But, you know, as women or men too, I mean, you go on social media to post anything, you could be talking about, the subject could be apples, and all of a sudden they're blasting you about something on your body or on your face or, you know, whatever. It's like people just love to come after people for things that they don't have control over, they do have control over. People just like coming for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Y'all gonna have to continue on because you're gonna get tired before I do.
What do you think, Tori?
Okay, well, here's the deal. In Europe, bare breasts are very different than America. And if you don't know why, really, the background is we came in as Puritans, and sex was sort of, Americans see sex as a no-no. As pilgrims, they were wearing the bonnets and all that. And in Europe, they've had centuries of sort of romanticizing the human body, including art. So it's odd because I think she's a Brit. Am I right? She's British. So for her, the nipple or whatever it is, I'm sorry if I can't say that, isn't a huge deal. And she also is saying it's mine. She knew it would cause things, but to say like your chest is so small over and over again, it just shows you the difference between where, to me, Americans are like 10 or 12-year-olds. You know what I mean? They're like, oh my gosh. And Europeans are like, what? It's my body. What do you want?
I didn't think pilgrims were going to enter conversation, but apparently they did.
Tori will.
Well, we're very puritanical about sexy.
Yeah, and I don't listen. That's fine. Men are disgusting. Blame men for this story. But I think it's.
Say men.
I think it. No. I'm just. That's what they said. Men on this story. So I'm the only man up here.
Not all men.
You're right. I'm not sticking up for men. Is my point.
Okay.
I'm saying I think a lot of people are just outlandish on social media. It doesn't matter if you're a man. People just want to hate you because you're in a position that they wish they were in, and then they want to throw a comment about your body or your personality or your political point of view just to knock you down off that pedestal. I mean, we need to get something under control.
You know what I think is interesting, though? Depending on who does it. Right? Okay. Like if you see Zoe Kravitz do it, it's like cool and artsy, and her followers kind of like, you know, it will celebrate her. Mm-hmm. If it were like Anne Hathaway doing it, she would get a lot of pushback. Mm-hmm. Isn't that interesting? For me, it's, you know, we apply that sometimes to men too. Like if Robert Downey Jr. did something that's a little bit more bad boy-esque, you would expect it, as opposed to maybe like a Bradley Cooper or a Tom Hanks. Totally. All of a sudden they're canceled. So it depends on who does it too, in my opinion. It's weird.
Yeah, you could do this for every story. There's people that write terrible things on every single post in history.
But she was being provocative. Let's not forget the fact that she came out in a sheer dress. Yeah. So people out there, I mean, she expected some kind of response.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to talk about the housewives now. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Jen Shah has now pleaded guilty to fraud and faces jail time. So Jen appeared at a Manhattan court today and changed her plea from not guilty to guilty. She admitted to running a telemarketing scheme and said many of her victims were over the age of 55.
Ugh, shame on
So
her.
here's the thing. She could spend up to 14 years in prison. Now on the show, cameras caught the moment Jen got a phone call. Eric and I have talked about this. And then quickly got off a bus that was going to Vail. Moments later, federal agents rolled in looking to arrest Jen. She will be sentenced in November. And a lot of people believe like the producers were somehow
Andy Cohen
must have facilitation of this. What do you think, Erica?
Yeah, I have pontificated about if the producers were in on it or not, and I don't believe that they were. I've been on a couple of Bravo podcasts to talk about it. I don't believe that that was the case. I think we would have gotten a lot more if they were. Yeah. The cameras would have followed. I have a very First of all, it's a sad story in the respect that she's a mother, she has young children. We actually saw the Ring camera surveillance of her young black children with their hands up coming out under gunpoint. Wow. That was actually footage that Jen herself released to Bravo. So it was one of the most disturbing things I had ever seen on Bravo. And I think it's important that we know that she was the reason why. I've always speculated as to what was up with Jen Shah, simply because the math never seemed to really be mathing. The idea that she kept saying that she was doing lead generation also gives you access to demographics. Specifically, we're talking about an elderly population or an older population who are going to be more vulnerable. Right. So the idea that she's flaunting all of this wealth, which it was wealth. I mean, sometimes she would appear on the show and she would have an outfit that was over $100,000.
Are you kidding me?
Easily.
How did Andy Cohen?
You can't Louis, Fendi, Gucci, Prada, and not have it calculate, you know?
Wow.
So the idea that she is doing this and finally taking the guilty plea is probably for the best, because no one else who has gone before the judge, and there's been over 20 people, have gotten off. Like, they've gotten either, you know, like 5 to 10 or closer to 20, and they've also had to pay restitution anywhere from, like, I think $5,000 to millions.
Wow.
So yeah, if you're gonna, whatever you do in the dark comes out in the light. I feel bad for her family.
Right. Wow.
But that's
the collateral damage, right?
I like that Louis Prada. It's on like a hook.
Louis, Gucci, Fendi.
Is that a song?
Yeah, I think in like the early 2000s.
Oh, see, I got an ear for it. Because I was like, that could be a song.
Glad you're relevant, Jeff.
You're wearing a Qbert shirt.
My shirt is very Gleaming the Cube from the 80s. That was a scare movie with
Remember
Christian.
Qbert, where you jump up like your shirt and you make it to the top?
Cool. Qbert's awesome. I'll take it. Okay.
I love it.
I do too. Coming up on DBL, we've got the Coupon Queen back. She's going to join us after the break to talk all about saving some major money. And two best friends are on a mission to find the best places to party. We're going to introduce you to the hilarious duo coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
DBL is all new every day.
I thought that was Molly. I was like, well, and you saw the part that...
Can I be honest, you guys? In the prompter, it said the word including, but it said INC. Did you see this? And then it said
that one house
looting on the next level. I read it as ink looting.
Very like this and had the Ali Sheedy hair. And then I Googled
really
it, and there's a bunch of 80s.
I've missed like the air being sucked out of the studio.
Annoying. You guys, you're just being so unhelpful today. So unhelpful.
Right.
I love it.
How are you guys? What's going on? What is the weather where you guys are? Because we're at record-breaking highs here. Record-breaking highs, I reckon.
I think it's only supposed to be 80 or 81.
Yeah, yesterday was
really cooled off. This week was. When did you get back? It was
100
really
degrees, and it broke
Don't tell me
8-year records for Denver.
Episode yet.
And I know I came back, but I'm not that hot.
Okay.
I'm so rusty. I'm so rusty. And I'm hot and I'm uncomfortable and I'm anxious.
You tried it. Only 20 minutes left.
Sweaty.
Only 20 minutes left.
I'm sweating a lot.
You're throwing them out there.
Yeah, but they're not biting. They're not biting. And you also want to have any recommendations for shows? I am all out of shows. I watched Stranger Things.
I have a couple.
I got nothing. I already saw it.
We're watching The Old Man. Ira suggested that. That's good. My parents. It's good. It's with Jeff Bridges and the guy from 30 Rock, the older guy, John Lithgow.
Oh, remember him in Dexter when he was the bad guy in
so
Dexter?
good.
John Lithgow is excellent.
Yeah, I'm watching Old Man. It's good. It's good.
Jeff Bridges had cancer, am I right? That's good for him.
He does a good job. It's a little out there, but it's cool.
Yeah, I need some help, guys. Give me something. Preferably with murder.
Welcome back. So prices seem to keep rising, so we love to find any way to save some cash. We've got the queen of couponing joining us for tips and tricks to snag the best deals, and it doesn't include your grandmother's binder of paper clippings. You guys remember one of those? Yep. Welcome to the show, Brianne Beauvais.
Yes.
Hi, queen. Ooh, welcome.
Yes, coupon queen. So why do they call you the coupon queen?
Well, I'm known for being able to go to stores like Walmart, get over $100 worth of products for about $4.16 out of pocket, which is super exciting. My best hauls, though, are typically at CVS. That's my favorite store to coupon at, where I easily get over $100 worth of products week after week for either free or sometimes I'll actually make money couponing, which is why couponing can be so powerful.
Okay, so let's talk about the monthly savings. How much money has couponing saved you each month, but also how much time do you have to spend each week putting all of your deals together?
Well, before I started couponing, I would spend probably on average $250 a month on laundry products, paper products, hair care, the whole 9 yards. So once I learned how to coupon and coupon the right way, I'm now able to get 4 or 5 times the amount of products for 75% less, which is incredible. So one month I thought it would be fun to calculate. In June, I grabbed $1,309 worth of products, a variety of different products, and my out-of-pocket cost was just $53.
What?
So a lot of people have the misconception, too, that it takes so much time because they're used to grandma's couponing where they have 4 carts in the store and all of these paper coupons. But at the end of the day, it's 2022. You can coupon all from your phone, all digitally. You don't have to use a single paper coupon if you don't want to. So you can I coupon, it takes about 5 to 6 hours a week, but I coupon at multiple stores for my audience. So I teach my audience and my students how to coupon at one store once a week. Should take you about 2 hours.
That's amazing.
Wow. So you were talking about, use several methods to coupon, right? To save money, coupons, reward programs, cashback apps. This seems a little intimidating, like you were saying, for a beginner. How do you suggest someone start? Okay, just tell me that, and I have a follow-up question.
Yeah, so it can definitely seem intimidating at first, and it's mostly because a lot of people try to dive in head first and coupon at all the stores and do all the things. So I always recommend pick one store, download the app so you can start getting comfortable with the different digital coupons and such. I teach couponing like an upside-down pyramid. So the more levels of the pyramid you participate in, the more money you're going to save. But start with one level, get really used to it, master it, and then start adding in the different rebate apps. Maybe you want to add in paper coupons, so on and so forth.
All right, so this question's for me personally. Sometimes when I go to a new site, it says save 10% by signing up with your email and phone number. Is that worth 10% in the end for getting emails and phone calls for life?
I think so personally, at the end of the day, I typically don't put my phone number because that's a pain in the butt. I don't want people blowing up my phone. But in email, I feel like everybody has that junk email address that they can use. So I have a specific email that I use so that all my coupons and stuff go there. And then maybe in 2 months, you're like, oh, I need a new pair of shoes. Let me see if Adidas sent me a coupon, or Nike, or whatever your brand is. Let me see if they sent me a coupon, and I can check that email real quick, and then bam, I have some coupons.
That's smart. That's really smart. All right, so I'm kind of a couponer. Is that what you call it? Couponer? Couponer.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not right. I do like Rakuten. I do like Retail Me Not. I look up stuff just like you said. CVS is really helpful. You know, it's changed.
CVS?
The CVS.
Who print out like a
but if you're
this big?
Yeah, but if you're smart, you can really save money. My question is, do you have a favorite like app or digital? Look at her.
Yeah, I can't with those.
It is a little long. Do you have like a digital way or a favorite way of doing it digitally that's changed from those old days of the binders? Is that sort of where you go, or do you go to the store's app?
I go to the store's app. So for CVS, for example, that is my favorite store to coupon at. They have the weekly ad with all the sales and everything right on the app, or you can do it on a computer, of course, as well. They have digital coupons, so you can just click the digital coupons right on the app. Then when you go to the store, purchase those products, you type in your phone number at the checkout that's associated with your account that you have. And then when they scan the products, they hit total, your digital coupons come off, which is incredible. And then my favorite rebate app that I would say is Ibotta, because they give you actual cash back. It doesn't have to be a gift card. So you can literally transfer it to your PayPal or even directly to your bank account. So you can get additional cash back as well on products that you're already getting a discount on.
This is like game changing.
You can make like 50,
this is
great. Really good.
Okay, so because you know more about couponing than anybody, what are some of the rules that you live by that you can pass on to us and our viewers?
Well, there's 4 rules that I typically live by. So number 1 is to coupon once a week and do it consistently at one store. Like I said, don't go head first and try to coupon at 5 stores and do all the things, because you will get overwhelmed. You will wind up paying too much out of pocket, which kind of defeats the purpose. So pick one store and stick to it. And I typically recommend picking a pharmacy because they have a rewards program and they have digital coupons. So now you can use the rewards to keep your out-of-pocket even lower. So that is the first rule, super important. The second rule is only buy products you need. Don't get stuck in the trap of, oh, but it's 50% off, right? It's exciting that you're saving 50%, but at the end of the day, if it's not a product that you need or you're gonna use, you're wasting that money and it's coming out of your budget. So you don't want to do that. Make sure it's products that you need so that you're not just buying things to buy things and increasing your out of pocket. The third rule that I live by is if coupons or deals aren't working, say you get to checkout and you're expecting to pay $10 and a bunch of digital coupons aren't working, maybe the system is having some issues and technical problems, don't feel obligated to pay for it. Don't feel embarrassed. Void the transaction. There's always another deal. There's always another day. Deals are cyclical. So say you love Dove deodorant, there'll be another deal on that in the next couple weeks. So don't pay too much out of pocket or feel embarrassed to void a transaction.
And Bree,
it's not a big deal.
We're running out of time, but luckily with that graphic, we were able to see your 4th tip. Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us and teaching us some money-saving hacks. DBL Nation, to learn how you can save more and even take classes from the coupon queen herself, check out her website, BreeCouponQueen.com. Thank you so much, Bree. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Happy couponing.
Flexibility.
During the pandemic, the federal government sent Americans 3 stimulus checks, and the Biden administration remains adamant a 4th stimulus is not on the way. Now, some social media users say California is sending its residents stimulus checks, this time for inflation, with some wondering, what about those who live in the other 49 states? So, let's verify. Are some states sending out inflation relief checks? Our sources are California Governor Gavin Newsom, the California Budget Act of 2022, and the Departments of Revenue, Taxation, and Finance in these 11 states. In 2021, California collected more tax revenue than expected, leading to a historic $97 billion surplus. On June 26th, Newsom announced the state would refund a 5th of the surplus back to Californians in the form of an inflation relief package. Families could get more than $1,000 deposited into their accounts, depending on their income. And California isn't alone. Georgia announced in May that it would also issue a one-time tax refund while citing the high cost of inflation. Other states soon followed, and to date, 12 states have announced they're refunding money back to taxpayers, with many branding the refund as a way to help families with the cost of inflation. So, yes, some states are sending out inflation relief checks that are coming from tax surpluses. How much money and when the money will arrive depends on the policy for residents of the 12 states who are issuing the payment, so you'll want to check with them for details. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter answers your questions, clarifies what's true and false, and even includes a daily fun fact. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
Our next guests have what most of us could only dream of having. Get this, it's a reality show with your best friend where you eat, drink, and party all across the country. And if that wasn't enough, they also make people laugh for a living. Check out our interview with Adam Pally and John Gabris.
Hello. What's up, guys? Yeah, how's it going, guys?
I got to be honest with you, I'm super jealous. I've pitched this idea 142 ways. So God bless you guys. It got off the ground. But I'm going to jump right in. Drinking, eating, partying for a week long. Now, I'm 44 years old. So out of you guys, who's usually the first to tap out after all that?
One of the joys of partying with a friend of yours for over 20 years is that you kind of know each other's limits or lack thereof. So you can kind of brace for wherever way the wind's going to blow on that certain night.
I would say frequently we would take turns being the one who was problematically wasted. But then every once in a while we'd both dip our toes into that pool.
And that's when the crew would run.
The crew. So it's one thing to be best friends, but it's another thing to travel with your best friend. So you guys have to get sick of each other sometimes. What do you guys get sick of each other over?
What if we just got in a huge fight right now, Daily Blast? Is that what you want? You want us beefing? Yeah, here's your drama clickbait. Adam and Gabris fighting.
No, I don't think we get on each other's nerves because we already did that a while ago.
Yeah,
like
we've been friends for too long. It's like we're an old married couple. It's like, oh, Adam's gonna Adam. Oh, yeah. Gabris is gonna Gabris.
And then you just make the best of it.
Oh my God. I love that. That's good. All right, you are in our very own backyard, Denver, and we all go out a lot. We would like to know, what do we not know about partying in our own city?
I'm sure you know everything there is to know, but what we found out is that the altitude does make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, you guys might be adjusted to it at this point, but it does help your bar tab be a little smaller.
Yeah. We found out that you can hit a beer garden by throwing a rock.
Yeah, you guys got plenty of outdoor spots to drink and then do some dumb physical activity at, too.
Yeah, we found everyone's doing stuff, throwing darts, playing cornhole, shooting pool. Like, no one's just drinking.
Yeah, we come from New York where, you know, it's just sitting and drinking. And in Denver, it's like, I have to play a sport while I have this double IPA.
I pretend to hike and then just go to the brewery at the bottom. Like, I go for 10 minutes and then I go.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It sounds like you guys,
that's the move. You got to earn your beer.
Totally. Sounds like you guys nailed Denver right on the head. So not just Denver, you guys visit Maui, Moab, Miami, Puerto Rico, Portland, Richmond, Atlanta. Which city pushes you guys to the limits? You told us a little bit about Denver, but what was most fun for you guys?
Well, I think physically Moab, Utah pushed us the furthest.
Yeah, because that was the most we've ever been out of our comfort zone. We're like from New York. I'm a beach kid, city kid, and then we end up on horses or fly fishing, driving dune buggies through on like nearly vertical rock walls and stuff. It was terrifying, and that was the scariest to us, I would say.
Also, the cuisine in Moab was scary.
The Utah cuisine.
Everything is
a lot of
hardy
and
thick.
Part of the job description is like signing your life away, driving up the side of that hill.
Well, the before you die part of the title is for real.
Okay, so we got to know, before we let you guys go, who made the biggest party foul while you guys were filming?
Party foul. I don't know.
That's
I think, you know, honestly, I'm sure there were party fouls, but we're such vets. We're such pros at this point.
Oh, yeah,
man.
you know, like fouling is part of the game, man. Rubbing is racing. Like, that's just part of it.
You're gonna break some.
I'm gonna step on Adam's dope sneakers. We are gonna spill a whole beer. We are gonna lose Adam's cell phone in the car every single day.
Yeah.
Like,
I lose my phone every day too.
Yeah, I think Adam sounds like me.
We don't even call people on party fouls. You know, like.
Yeah, because we are one.
Yeah, imagine like, you know, guys who've been playing street ball for 40 years don't call fouls that often. Like, that's us.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Thanks, Adam and John. We can't wait to see your debut as travel hosts. DBL Nation, 101 Places to Party Before You Die, premieres Thursday, July 14th on True TV. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
The dog days of summer are here, and so too are high utility bills. Many Verify viewers reached out with questions about ways they've heard to beat the heat. So we looked into whether they actually work. First up, will closing your blinds help keep your home cooler? So let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. Department of Energy and Lowe's. When sunlight hits double-pane windows with the blinds open, the DOE says about 76% of it turns into heat. You can help lower that number by closing the blinds. Lowe's recommends using a white blind or shade because it will help deflect more heat. The DOE says the exact percentage saved also depends on the material of your blinds. For example, an insulated shade could reduce unwanted heat by up to 60%, while using just a white curtain will help reduce the heat by a third. So, yes, closing your blinds will help keep your home cooler. All right, next up is a question I frequently ask myself when heading to work. Does turning off the AC at home when I leave for the day save money? Admittedly, the answer to this question has a lot of variables, like where you live and how hot it is outside. Generally, our energy experts recommend leaving the air on during the day. Just turn it up a few degrees. Duke Energy explains you'll use less energy keeping your home at a modest temperature throughout the day, rather than blasting the AC when you get home to try and cool the house. Nebraska's Southwest Public Power District notes turning off your AC could cause your refrigerator to work extra hard to keep food cold, which would negate any savings from turning off the air. Plus, humidity levels may increase, leading to mold, mildew, and causing damage to electronics. So, no, in general, turning off the AC when leaving for the day does not save money. This brings us to our final question about staying cool. So, let's verify. Is there a right temperature to maximize savings? The DOE and Energy Star say setting the AC to 78 degrees is the ideal temperature to maximize savings when you're home. This is about 10% cheaper than setting it at 74 degrees. If you live in an especially warm area, then HVAC technicians recommend setting your AC 20 degrees cooler than the outdoor temperature to avoid straining your air conditioning. So, yes, there is a right temperature to maximize savings. We hope these tips help save you a bit of money this summer. We feature even more of your questions about staying cool on verifythis.com. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Turns out, mowing your lawn in different directions does a lot more than just make your grass look good. Let's connect the dots. According to the experts, the direction you push the mower can make or break your turf. That's because if you mow your lawn in the same direction every time, the grass blades will start to grow in that direction. By alternating patterns, you let the blades grow straighter and healthier. Switching directions also avoids rutting. That's because if you run your mower the same way each week, ruts will start to form. It's not just direction that matters, but length too. If you cut your grass too short, you can end up with dead or dying patches scattered across the lawn. Experts say every lawn is different, but you should generally cut your grass at about 2.5 to 3 inches tall.
Welcome back. Tori, you got some comments?
I sure do. Cecile says, I shop good deals at Trader Joe's.
Oh, Trader Joe's is great.
That little pamphlet, with the little newspaper. And finally, Steven says, I'm not sure about the extreme couponing. It seems like you end up with 20 tubes of toothpaste you don't need.
That's Costco for you.
Yeah.
Jeff's an expert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
See you guys.
Where hope finds help. where courage meets conviction, where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities. Where national know-how backs local business. Be in good company with Tegna.
I know you lying. You are wrong as all get out.
Be honest about what you are, but don't get tough when BLM protesters are walking down the street.
I don't know how much time we have, but I'm about to go on this rampage really quick. Okay, 1 minute.
Who are you?
I'm Tori.
Oh.
I thought everyone knew. Sorry.
Don't you respect my opinions as well? I have to respect yours. Can't you respect mine? Raise the roof.
Yes.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
DBL is all new every day.
Talking about Daily Blast Live.
A pregnant woman fights a carpool lane ticket with the recent Roe v. Wade reversal. Should her unborn baby count as a passenger? Crazy videos from hikers getting caught in an avalanche.
Oh dear God.
To sea lions chasing after people on the beach. Florence Pugh calls out body shamers after wearing a see-through dress while she's telling men to grow up. And the coupon queen of the internet will be here live with easy ways you can save some major moolah.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Tori and Erica back with the team.
Yeah.
Finally.
Thanks for having us back.
Yeah.
This morning I woke up and I was like, do I still have a job?
Yeah. I used my card and I was like, does it beep? It beeps. I'm still on.
Gone for a long time. We're happy that you're back. We're going to actually take a couple moments coming up soon, so stay tuned to hear about both of y'all's little trips, okay?
Okay.
Big trips. Like Jeff and I just went to like a nearby lake. They went on big trips. Good one, Jeff. Okay. All right, the gang's all back. Okay, so we are going to kick things off with a very controversial topic. Abortion. Now that Roe v. Wade has been overturned, the president is considering declaring a public health emergency to free up federal resources to promote abortion access. So meantime, over the weekend, protests continue in states where abortion is now illegal, including in St. Louis, where demonstrators blocked, as you can see right there, they blocked an entire highway. Well, I want you to, okay, so you may have seen this because this has gone viral. Check out this woman, okay? She's a pregnant woman in Texas. She was pulled over for driving in the carpool lane, and she was given a $275 ticket. Well, she's fighting back, claiming her unborn child was the second passenger in the car. Here's what she explained to our affiliate WFAA in Dallas.
One law saying that it's a baby, and now he's telling me that this baby that's jabbing my ribs is not a baby. Why can't it all make sense?
So this actually brings up a bunch of questions about the rights of the unborn in states where abortion is now illegal. Like, can you claim an unborn child on your taxes? Tori, what do you think of this? And I should also say that since this woman has spoken out about her incident, there has been caravans of women in protest going in these lanes saying, pregnant women saying, oh, but I'm not alone. I have a child with me.
Yeah, you can't have it one way and not the other, right? right? The Constitution, if you want to take away a fundamental right and say that that is a person, then do I pay child support? Does it get a name? Does it get Social Security? Does it get deported? If the mom goes to jail, is it wrongfully accused? I mean, these are questions that are going to tie up the courts in knots for years and years and years. So bravo to these women to say, here's your first issue with this, right? You took away our rights. This is what we're going to come back with. If you're going to say this is a human, can I claim this as a dependent? I mean, that's what you're going to get. And good for them fiscally to go that route, because that's going to be hitting them where it counts, and that's the wallet. Right now, it's very clear that Biden has 64% of the Democrats saying, we don't want you. Okay? No one's fighting for women. And no one's out there thinking outside the box, codifying Roe, all these things. This woman sort of set the spark off.
Well, what would you say to the people, though? Because, you know, we do have viewers that write in saying that this is a victory. So we have to address that side.
And if it is a victory, which I know a lot of people do, and I want to respect that, then it has to be a person, though, throughout. It can't be a person when you want it to be, and not when it's convenient. That doesn't work in legal minds. It doesn't work.
I have nothing to add to that other than, no, I 100% agree, other than the fact that I think that pregnant women should be allowed to be in HOV lanes. Why? I just believe that just based on being pregnant, you should be able to do that.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
There should be a lot of benefits for pregnant women, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if this was a great, clever idea to try to get out of a ticket, but that's what I think it is. I don't know if you're going to get out of that ticket. If you're in that lane, you need to have another passenger. I get the complaint. I get how it's clever. I'm all for clever. Right. I get the loophole, but I don't know if that's necessarily going to get you out of a ticket and tie the courts up. I don't think you are an American in this country till you start paying taxes, and that happens the day after you come out of the womb.
Oh, well, Tori just did this to you.
What's that?
You missed it, like a boom.
Well, that's the point. So if you're saying that's true, once they're born, that's a person. And by the way, that's what Jewish people in their religion feel. The first breath is when they become a person. And Jews are now suing, saying it's not my religion that it's against. So if that's true, though, then you got to make that fair for everything. Right. So not only traffic tickets, a lot of things.
Let me get in this next beat really quickly, because there is, here's an interesting, I would say, workaround for women seeking abortion services. I don't know if you guys have heard this. This is specifically for women in the South, where it's now illegal. A doctor in California has proposed a floating abortion clinic in the Gulf of Mexico as a way for folks in Texas, Louisiana, and Alabama to get access. What do we think of this idea? What do you think, Jeff? Oh, go ahead, Erica.
Well, this is terrifying to me because out of everything, other than the fact that we have less rights than our mothers did, it's a safety issue. This is a major safety issue. Anytime you start taking away someone's personal rights, liberties, and freedoms, then that is a dog whistle to people to say that they aren't as valuable, important, or as much of a human as you are. And that makes them and their lives placed in jeopardy. If you are going to do something like this, and I understand that we're going to have to figure out how to move forward should Roe versus Wade be overturned completely and permanently. Right. Then yes, there are going to have to be ways to do that. Having a floating center is going to also allow people to know where that in and out is for women who need to get abortion assistance.
See, I think it's a good thing.
See, I'm talking about just the idea of people knowing that that's what that is. It's the same thing that really hits home to me with the idea of a woman not being able to get an abortion if she's pregnant, and maybe that man doesn't want a child. Maybe that man doesn't want a child so much that now her life is in jeopardy because he's going to ensure that she doesn't have that child. Maybe that man's married. Maybe that's someone whose family doesn't want them to have a baby that isn't aligned or in the same color or religion or whatever it is as the rest of the family. We are talking about endangering women every single day. There are so many domestic disputes, so many domestic altercations that occur over pregnancy. So this to me is just another way of people knowing this is exactly the reason why this person has to go into the Gulf of Mexico to get assistance. I agree that there needs to be workarounds. I'm just scared for what something like this means.
Wow. All right, well, coming up on DBL, Florence Pugh is clapping back at body shamers online. Her message for them after wearing a see-through dress to an event. And is clipping coupons really worth your time? The queen of coupons is here live with the answer. But first, an avalanche threatens a hiker, and sea lions chase away beachgoers. Look at them. Good for them. We'll show you the crazy videos from vacations gone wrong.
Closed captioning provided by
DBL is all new every day.
Tiffany, how was your break? Good?
It was good. I went to Kansas City.
Oh, nice. And you had a good time?
I did.
Good.
I just relaxed.
That's what everyone needs. I guess I was saying, sorry to jump back. I was thinking.
I want to hear I want to hear your point of view and then Jeff's.
Yeah, what did you think about the floating?
The floating.
I don't think it's that silly, all in all, right? It's a way to work around the law, right? And I use that example of like floating casinos. In Illinois, you couldn't gamble, but if you put it on a riverboat and build a casino around that, you beat the law. And that's what they did, and then eventually became legal. I think this is a good way around the law by being legal, not.
Yeah, what if
to
there's
those
a bunch
standards,
of protesters like that are bounty hunters
yeah, but
and take
how is
them
that different
on
than any other abortion clinic? You know, the clinics are there. This is a clinic as well. There could be other things out there, and I just think it's a clever way around the law.
I agree. I think it's a clever loophole. If you don't know maritime law, it doesn't have jurisdiction with the state, so they can't touch it. I also think that some people are promoting federal buildings.
Oh, I heard this
being used. So like a Capitol building, right, or a federal building they have their own jurisdiction on their land. As a state can't say anything. So turn that into an abortion clinic, or have a space for a Planned Parenthood in the lobby.
But the federal budget has never once contributed, not even a dime or a penny, to abortions.
Right.
Even when they supported Planned Parenthood, they had it allocated separately. And I should just say Planned Parenthood, 90-something% of their donations goes to women's health care, which is largely like mammograms and gynecological exams. I just think people should know that. But federally, they've never...
Which doesn't preclude that they can.
But would they do it if their precedent so far has been to stay away?
Biden needs to do something. So if this, I agree, but the Democrats either have to do this or they lose in the midterms. All right, bye.
We have exciting.
Welcome back. So it's the summer travel season, and before we get into like some of these vacation or videos gone wrong, we want to hear about your trips. So you went all over the place.
Yeah, I was all over the place. I started with my sister, my mom and dad in Belize, and that was awesome. Wow. That's actually not Belize. This is okay. These are like all the random things that happened. My mom's birthday.
Art class?
Yes, there was an art. Well, my mom wanted to do a pause and paint for her birthday.
Good for her.
And so we did that on their deck, and then they have a dock. My mom's now in this boating community on the river. So I think we might have these Jello shots because my mother ran me this week. Okay, we had to make 800 Jello shots for this boating thing that they do every year on the river, and my mom wants to be a part of this community now. So we did all these things.
Good for her.
It was crazy.
Like a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, I am exhausted.
You're tired.
Yeah.
You need a vacation from your vacation.
Totally.
And Michael Dean, I'm sorry, I was supposed to start with Tori, but I didn't. But Tori, tell us about your trip.
No worries. I know. I like that boaters wave to each other. I always thought that was nice.
Well, it's to make sure you see each other.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Etiquette. Boating etiquette.
Did not know that.
Anything to acknowledge Tori. I'm here. Oh, hi.
I'm
move out of the way. I didn't really tell you.
Go. I went back to Cape Cod for my in-laws, but D.C. to see my family, and we saw the 4th in D.C. over the Capitol. Here's my family on the wharf. My dad looking at the U.S. Capitol, and I know this is lame and kind of corny and not cool, but and then we were in a pool.
You guys are dancing.
Yeah, but it's really neat to talk and see the Capitol that you and I and all of us have been spending so much time discussing about January 6th, and see the fireworks over what really has become a beacon of American democracy. It's not Jell-O shots. Do I wish it were? Yes.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, but it was lovely to see that and be with my father, who instilled that within me.
I love it. Really quickly, I'm going to show you a photo of, I went to see Minions over the weekend, and I just thought it was bananas that when, first of all, my husband fell asleep, and I was like, I can't believe he's sleeping. I would love to take a 2-hour nap. And then I look around, there was about 20 dads in the theater. I'd say 15 of them were asleep. That's not okay. That's not fair.
No, the moms have to be awake for everything.
It's not okay. The difference between moms and dads. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, speaking of summer travel, we've got some viral videos of some summer trips that didn't quite go according to plan. So up first, check out what one hiker caught on camera while traveling overseas. Okay, look at this. A giant avalanche from the top of the mountain started barreling down. Now, the hiker actually hid behind a giant rock as the snow and ice came toward him. He is okay, as are his fellow hikers who just got some minor scrapes and cuts.
That is
what would you do?
We'll jump behind that rock.
You would have?
I don't think people take, Mother Nature as serious as they should. That person probably thought it was just going to roll down the side of the hill. Just like when you're in a wave or something, the ocean is very powerful. And if you're not careful, things like this happen.
Wow. Yes. Okay, speaking of the ocean, this next video is from a beach in San Diego. Watch as a couple of sea lions chase away some of the folks on the beach. Looks like they were sick of sharing their space. They even go after some of the surfers in the water. Nobody was hurt, and they ended up swimming away. I don't blame them. Look how many people are jammed in that cove.
There's not room for everybody.
Yeah, and that's the sea lion's home.
It's their house.
It is kind of like, like for the first time they're fighting back.
Good.
Good for the, I hear you. They're not lying.
That's, if Jeff were a sea lion, that would be Jeff.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. Those are like protesters to me. I'm not I'm sticking anything to a stick and running around the beach.
Excuse me? That's your lawn. What would you do if 300 people showed up
I'd go to a different
to
lawn.
Your own lawn?
I don't know, Sam. This video stinks.
You don't like this video?
I mean, come on.
Yeah. What would you do if you were there?
I don't know.
Nothing?
Head for the hills.
You would head for the hills? Okay.
What goes up must come down.
Okay. I have a lot of experience with sea lions because in Santa Cruz, 10, okay. I'll tell you guys in one of the breaks.
Please,
I can give you tips
I'm on pins and
about
needles.
seals and sea lions and even elephant seals.
Whoa.
I will give you all the details.
Excellent.
Coming up on DBL, the coupon queen is here live. There she is. If you enjoy saving money, you're going to want to stick around. We're back in 2 minutes.
Suffer from pain? You're not alone.
During the pandemic, the federal government sent Americans 3 stimulus checks, and the Biden administration remains adamant a 4th stimulus is not on the way. Now, some social media users say California is sending its residents stimulus checks, this time for inflation, with some wondering, what about those who live in the other 49 states? So, let's verify. Are some states sending out inflation relief checks? Our sources are California Governor Gavin Newsom, the California Budget Act of 2022, and the Departments of Revenue, Taxation, and Finance in these 11 states. In 2021, California collected more tax revenue than expected, leading to a historic $97 billion surplus. On June 26th, Newsom announced the state would refund a 5th of the surplus back to Californians in the form of an inflation relief package. Families could get more than $1,000 deposited into their accounts, depending on their income, and California isn't alone. Georgia announced in May that it would also issue a one-time tax refund while citing the high cost of inflation. Other states soon followed, and to date, 12 states have announced they're refunding money back to taxpayers, with many branding the refund as a way to help families with the cost of inflation. So, yes, some states are sending out inflation relief checks that are coming from tax surpluses. How much money and when the money will arrive depends on the policy for residents of the 12 states who are issuing the payment, so you'll want to check with them for details. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter answers your questions, clarifies what's true and false, and even includes a daily fun fact. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
So we did have some technical difficulties with our guest. Shall I talk
But the good news is...
Yeah. Elephant seal! Okay, so let me just tell you the difference between them, because let me tell you, that will decipher on how you act.
Fair.
So the seals, like if you ever peruse like the piers in San Francisco and you see all the seals at the piers, those are like the dogs of the sea. Okay. They're very friendly. They might jump on your surfboard and say hello. You don't have to worry about those seals. If you're in like the La Jolla Coves, that I believe is at the La Jolla Cove, also a good surf spot. Those are the sea lions. Very territorial.
Aggressive.
Especially if they have babies. You better back up. Now, elephant seals, whew, if you go to Año Nuevo over in Northern California and you go see those elephant seals, they're like twice the size of this table.
See, I don't like animals.
Thousands of pounds. And they will do, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on TV. Am I? No. Well, they will have sexual activity with multiple elephant seals.
Polyamorous.
Yep. Sure. They will fight, and it's very scary to see them fight. And then they will sometimes do things to their babies that I don't like to watch. But anyways, stay away from elephant seals, sea lions, dogs of the sea. Seals are okay.
There could have been a cardboard cutout of me today, just sitting here. We need to get one of those, yeah.
We do have a story, though. We do have a story. They're all over the elephant seals, and they want me to tell a story. Okay, so Amber Heard is asking the court for a new trial against Johnny Depp. Amber's attorney claims the wrong juror sat in on the 6-week trial. The juror who showed up had the same last name. And address as the juror who was summoned to appear. What? But the court apparently did not catch it. So her legal team is asking the judge to throw it out or throw out the verdict. Meantime, Johnny seems to reference Amber in a new song with musician Jeff Beck. On the track titled Sad Bleeping Parade, Johnny sings, quote, "You're sitting there like a dog with a 7-year itch. If I had a dime, I wouldn't reach your hand." Oh, it wouldn't reach your hand. I don't get it.
It doesn't even rhyme.
That's not that good.
Let's talk about the jury thing. I do want to talk about that. I think they meant the dog and the whole thing with the bed and that situation with that. But with the jury thing, this is a real issue. If the wrong person came on jury duty because they had the same last name and never thought to check the first name, that is a mistrial in many, many judges' cases. And we're going to go through the whole thing all over again.
You're kidding? No, we not.
I'm not kidding you. If you have the wrong juror, you haven't been seen by a juror of your peers that you agreed to during voir dire, which we all know from my cousin Vinny, and you are absolutely allowed to
televise it again.
I don't know if the next judge will.
Look at Erica.
But is it really, like, truly, is it really enough to cause a mistrial?
Absolutely. That is absolutely jury misconduct.
How did they miss that?
Someone read the wrong name or wanted clout to get on the jury for Amber Heard.
Of course.
And they wanted to write a book. You know what I'm saying? Or they wanted to say I was in that juror.
Or didn't want to go and like have their...
And give, exactly.
Who's going to pay for this trial? It's our tax dollars.
You are. Exactly.
You're paying for this, bro. Did you know that?
Well, we could slip in an Amber Heard story other than that seal story, you know, like so.
You know you learned something, and you know if you're ever at a beach with an elephant seal or a sea lion, you're going to run. If you see the cutie seal, you know you're going to be like, "What up, cutie?" Right?
We're still going.
Oh my God. Jeff woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Wrong side of the bed? What are we doing here?
Go back to sleep and wake up on the other side, please.
Cool avalanche.
We'll be right back.
That was a cool avalanche.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
The dog days of summer are here, and so too are high utility bills. Many Verify viewers reached out with questions about ways they've heard to beat the heat. So we looked into whether they actually work. First up, will closing your blinds help keep your home cooler? So let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. Department of Energy and Lowe's. When sunlight hits double-pane windows with the blinds open, the DOE says about 76% of it turns into heat. You can help lower that number by closing the blinds. Lowe's recommends using a white blind or shade because it will help deflect more heat. The DOE says the exact percentage saved also depends on the material of your blinds. For example, an insulated shade could reduce unwanted heat by up to 60%, while using just a white curtain will help reduce the heat by a third. So, yes, closing your blinds will help keep your home cooler. All right, next up is a question I frequently ask myself when heading to work. Does turning off the AC at home when I leave for the day save money? Admittedly, the answer to this question has a lot of variables, like where you live and how hot it is outside. Generally, our energy experts recommend leaving the air on during the day. Just turn it up a few degrees. Duke Energy explains you'll use less energy keeping your home at a modest temperature throughout the day, rather than blasting the AC when you get home to try and cool the house. Nebraska's Southwest Public Power District notes turning off your AC could cause your refrigerator to work extra hard to keep food cold, which would negate any savings from turning off the air. Plus, humidity levels may increase, leading to mold, mildew, and causing damage to electronics. So, no, in general, turning off the AC when leaving for the day does not save money. This brings us to our final question about staying cool. So, let's verify. Is there a right temperature to maximize savings? The DOE and Energy Star say setting the AC to 78 degrees is the ideal temperature to maximize savings when you're home. This is about 10% cheaper than setting it at 74 degrees. If you live in an especially warm area, then HVAC technicians recommend setting your AC 20 degrees cooler than the outdoor temperature to avoid straining your air conditioning. So, yes, there is a right temperature to maximize savings. We hope these tips help save you a bit of money this summer. We featured even more of your questions about staying cool on VerifyThis.com. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Turns out, mowing your lawn in different directions does a lot more than just make your grass look good. Let's connect the dots. According to the experts, the direction you push the mower can make or break your turf. That's because if you mow your lawn in the same direction every time, the grass blades will start to grow in that direction. By alternating patterns, you let the blades grow straighter and healthier. Switching directions also avoids rutting. That's because if you run your mower the same way each week, ruts will start to form. It's not just direction that matters, but length too. If you cut your grass too short, you can end up with dead or dying patches scattered across the lawn. Experts say every lawn is different, but you should generally cut your grass at about 2.5 to 3 inches tall.
Welcome back. We are going to have that coupon queen later in the show. She's going to give us lots of advice and tips and tricks. But now we're going to talk about former baseball player Derek Jeter. He's clearing up a long-standing rumor about him. Legend has it that Derek used to give out swag bags of his own memorabilia, including autographed baseballs, to the ladies he hooked up with. It was also reported one woman got 2 identical gift baskets on 2 separate occasions, but apparently none of it is true. Derek set the record straight on the ESPN docuseries The Captain, saying the gift baskets never happened. How weird would that be?
I think it's weird, but I've also heard this rumor. Like when you go to Derek Jeter's house, again, I don't know if this is true, but it's the rumor out there. If you're anybody, you go to after parties, because he'd have them, a very celebrity guy, shortstop for the New York Yankees, come on. You'd have to leave your phone at the door if you were going to come in his house, and then after you left, you had your fun, he'd give you a little gift basket.
Oh, God.
That's like the rumor, but he cleared it up, and apparently that's not true.
Memorabilia?
Yeah.
Well, you could sell it.
I do think it's lame that it's his memorabilia, but am I wrong that like a gift basket after like...
Oh, I do dig a good gift basket.
I love a gift basket.
Not after a one-night stand, y'all.
Like
how low is the
Starbucks
bar
gift
possibly going to be? I mean, you got a stock item full in your closet of something that you give to every person that leaves after you hooked up with them. I would be so offended. I would be highly offended.
But I would go in knowing this is Derek Jeter, I'm making this decision, and like to get...
Depending what's in the gift basket, I'd be like, that's thoughtful.
Exactly. Totally. Right. If it's,
really?
Well, yeah, because, I mean, it's already a celebrity. It's already sort of a caricature of a story. Why not end with that kind of a note?
I'd be more offended that I'd have to turn in my phone. I'd be like, give me a break, buddy. Come on. I might need it to talk to the babysitter. Enough.
You're not going to be there if you need the babysitter.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why wouldn't I be invited there?
I don't know, Sam.
Shake Jeff.
Shake Jeff. What do you mean, why wouldn't you be there?
Why wouldn't I be there? You said because I had a babysitter. What's wrong with
You're out in Manhattan with the shortstop from the New York Yankees. You think he's like, is your family okay? No.
How do you
There's other singles around.
I
was just simply saying that the reason why you're there also would be the antithesis of the reason why you would need to check in. Like, you don't want nobody to know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe people do want people to know.
You said he throws after parties. It's not just singles that go to the after parties.
It said after a hookup. Read that.
I know.
But he used to throw after parties till like after the clubs close at 3 in the morning. What do you mean I can't? It's 3 a.m. Why are you out?
Why can't I be there? If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half
You're
of
not
the show
invited.
online.
You're not
Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you get the second half of the show where you are, here is what's ahead. Florence Pugh is calling out body shaming comments online, why she's defending her decision to wear a see-through dress to an event, and imagine having a reality show with your best friend where you eat, drink, and party. We're joined by 2 comedians living the dream.
Could turning on this machine create a black hole? This is the Large Hadron Collider, one of the largest particle accelerators in the world, operated by the European Organization for Nuclear Research, known as CERN. On July 5th, it was powered up after a 3-year upgrade and maintenance hiatus. The news prompted conspiracy theories to spread online, with people speculating what might happen after the machine was turned on. Verify viewer Wilson emailed to ask if CERN's Large Hadron Collider can open up a cosmic black hole. So let's verify. Our sources are CERN, the U.S. Department of Energy, NASA, and Dejan Stojkovic, a physics professor with the University of Buffalo. According to NASA, cosmic black holes form in space when stars much bigger than the sun collapse on themselves. The result is, quote, gravitational fields so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape, and a gravitational pull so powerful that it can pull in nearby material and, quote, eat it. The CERN LHC can't create a cosmic black hole, but here's what it can do. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, a particle accelerator speeds up the smallest known particles, such as electrons or protons, to very high energies, which, according to CERN, allows researchers to study what happens and potentially gain insights into fundamental laws of nature. Physics professor Dejan Stojkovic told Verify in an email that current technologies aren't capable of creating a cosmic black hole, adding, quote, we need an accelerator as big as the whole universe to do that, so we should either improve our technology drastically or we should build a bigger accelerator, unquote. So we can verify, no, CERN's Large Hadron Collider particle accelerator can't create a cosmic black hole. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. If a cosmic black hole were created when CERN turned on that machine, Stojkovic says surrounding material would fall into that black hole until the whole Earth was swallowed. But that's clearly not what happened. Instead, this is. Scientists identified 3 never-before-seen particles. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No. Y'all just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. So Florence Pugh is clapping back at online trolls after she wore a sheer dress to a fashion show. Florence posted pics in the see-through Valentino dress. Let me just look. Okay, well, we have a bar, so I can't see anything, saying she expected comments, both negative and positive, but didn't expect what she called, quote-unquote, vulgar comments from men, commenting on her chest size. On Instagram, she wrote, quote, what's been interesting to watch and witness is just how easy it is for men to totally destroy a woman's body publicly, proudly, for everyone to see. I've lived in my body for a long time. I'm fully aware of my breast size, and I'm not scared of it. What did you think, Erica, of the reaction?
I mean, it's pretty much par for the course. If she just happened to be wearing a more revealing piece, she looked beautiful, by the way.
She did look good.
Like a piece of art.
Didn't you think? And she's wearing
She
great.
really does.
Yeah.
But, you know, as women or men too, I mean, you go on social media to post anything, you could be talking about, the subject could be apples, and all of a sudden they're blasting you about something on your body or on your face or, you know, whatever. It's like people just love to come after people for things that they don't have control over, they do have control over. People just like coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna have to continue on because you're gonna get tired before I do.
What do you think, Tori?
Okay, well, here's the deal. In Europe, bare breasts are very different than America. And if you don't know why, really, the background is we came in as Puritans, and sex was sort of Americans see sex as a no-no. As pilgrims, they were wearing the bonnets and all that. And in Europe, they've had centuries of sort of romanticizing the human body, including art. So it's odd because I think she's a Brit. Am I right? She's British. So for her, the nipple or whatever it is, I'm sorry if I can't say that, isn't a huge deal. And she also is saying it's mine. She knew it would cause things, but to say like your chest is so small over and over again, it just shows you the difference between where, to me, Americans are like 10 or 12-year-olds. You know what I mean? They're like, oh my gosh. And Europeans are like, what? It's my body. What do you want?
I didn't think pilgrims were going to enter conversation, but apparently they did.
Yeah, Tori will.
Well, we're very puritanical about sex here.
Yeah, and I don't listen. That's fine. Men are disgusting. Blame men for this story. But I think it's.
Say men.
I think it. No. I'm just. That's what they said. Men on this story. So I'm the only man.
Not all men.
You're right. I'm not sticking up for men. Is my point. Okay. I'm saying I think a lot of people are just outlandish on social media. It doesn't matter if you're a man. People just want to hate you because you're in a position that they wish they were in, and then they want to throw a comment about your body or your personality or your political point of view just to knock you down off that pedestal. I mean, we need to get something under control.
You know what I think is interesting, though? Depending on who does it. Right? Okay. Like if you see Zoe Kravitz do it, it's like cool and artsy, and her followers kind of like, you know, it will celebrate her.
Mm-hmm.
If it were like Anne Hathaway doing it, she would get a lot of pushback. Mm-hmm. Isn't that interesting? For me, it's, you know, we apply that sometimes to men too. Like if Robert Downey Jr. did something that's a little bit more bad boy-esque, you would expect it, as opposed to maybe like a Bradley Cooper or a Tom Hanks. Totally. All of a sudden they're canceled. So it depends on who does it too, in my opinion. It's weird.
Yeah, you could do this for every story. There's people that write terrible things on every single post in history.
But she was being provocative. Let's not forget the fact that she came out in a sheer dress. Yeah. So people out there, I mean, you know, she expected some kind of response.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to talk about the housewives now. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Jen Shah has now pleaded guilty to fraud and faces jail time. So Jen appeared at a Manhattan court today and changed her plea from not guilty to guilty. She admitted to running a telemarketing scheme and said many of her victims were over the age of 55.
Ugh, shame on her.
So here's the thing. She could spend up to 14 years in prison. Now, on the show, cameras caught the moment Jen got a phone call. Eric and I have talked about this. And then quickly got off a bus that was going to Vail. Moments later, federal agents rolled in looking to arrest Jen. She will be sentenced in November. And a lot of people believe like the producers were somehow
Andy Cohen
must have facilitation of this. What do you think, Erica?
Yeah, I have pontificated about if the producers were in on it or not, and I don't believe that they were. I've been on a couple of Bravo podcasts to talk about it. I don't believe that that was the case. I think we would have gotten a lot more if they were. Yeah. The cameras would have followed. I have a very... First of all, it's a sad story in the respect that she's a mother, she has young children. We actually saw the Ring camera surveillance of her young black children with their hands up, coming out under gunpoint. Wow. That was actually footage that Jen herself released to Bravo. So it was one of the most disturbing things I had ever seen on Bravo. And I think it's important that we know that she was the reason why. I've always speculated as to what was up with Jen Shah, simply because the math never seemed to really be mathing. The idea that she kept saying that she was doing lead generation also gives you access to demographics. Specifically, we're talking about an elderly population or an older population who are going to be more vulnerable. Right. So the idea that she's flaunting all of this wealth, which it was wealth. I mean, sometimes she would appear on the show and she would have an outfit that was over $100,000.
Are you kidding me?
Easily.
How did Andy Cohen?
You can't Louis, Fendi, Gucci, Prada, and not have it calculate, you know?
Wow.
So the idea that she is doing this and finally taking the guilty plea is probably for the best, because no one else who has gone before the judge, and there's been over 20 people, have gotten off. Like, they've gotten either, you know, like 5 to 10 or closer to 20, and they've also had to pay restitution anywhere from, like, I think $5,000 to millions.
Wow.
So yeah, if you're gonna, whatever you do in the dark comes out in the light. I feel bad for her family.
Right. Wow.
But that's
the collateral damage, right?
I like that Louis Prada. It's on like a hook.
Louis, Gucci, Fendi.
Is that a song?
Yeah, I think in like the early 2000s.
Oh, see, I got an ear for it. Because I was like, that could be a song.
Glad you're relevant.
You're wearing a Qbert shirt.
My shirt is very Gleaming the Cube from the 80s. That was a skater movie with
Remember
Christian.
Qbert, where you jump up like your shirt and you make it to the top?
Cool. Qbert's awesome. I'll take it. Okay. I love it. I do too. Coming up on DBL, we've got the Coupon Queen back. She's going to join us after the break to talk all about saving some major money. And two best friends are on a mission to find the best places to party. We're going to introduce you to the hilarious duo coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
DBL is all new every day.
I thought that was Molly. I was like, well, and you saw the part that...
Can I be honest, you guys? In the prompter, it said the word including, but it said INC. Did you see this? And then it said
one house
looting on the next level. I read it as ink looting.
Like this and have the Ali Sheedy hair. And then I Googled it, and there's a bunch of 80s.
I've missed like the air being sucked out of the studio.
Annoying. You guys be so unhelpful today. So unhelpful.
Right.
I love it.
How are you guys? What's going on? What is the weather where you guys are? Because we're at record-breaking highs here. Record-breaking highs, I reckon.
I think it's only supposed to be 80 or 81.
Yeah, yesterday was
really cooled off. This week, when did you get back? It was really hot.
Degrees and it broke
Don't tell me
8-year records for Denver.
Episode yet.
And I know I came back, but I'm not that hot. I'm so rusty. I'm so rusty. And I'm hot and I'm uncomfortable and I'm anxious.
Only 20 minutes left.
Sweaty.
Only 20 minutes left.
I'm sweating a lot.
You're throwing them out there.
Yeah, but they're not biting. They're not biting. Any also want to have any recommendations for shows? I am all out of shows. I watched Stranger Things. I got nothing. I already saw it.
We're watching The Old Man. Ira suggested that. That's good. My parents. It's good. It's with Jeff Bridges and the guy from 30 Rock, the older guy, John Lithgow.
Oh, remember him in Dexter when he was the bad guy in
so
Dexter?
good.
John Lithgow is excellent.
Yeah, I'm watching Old Man. It's good. It's good.
Jeff Bridges had cancer, am I right? That's good for him.
He does a good job. It's a little out there, but it's cool.
Yeah, I need some help, guys. Give me something. Preferably with murder. You watch Stranger Things?
Welcome back. So prices seem to keep rising, so we love to find any way to save some cash. We've got the queen of couponing joining us for tips and tricks to snag the best deals, and it doesn't include your grandmother's binder of paper clippings. You guys remember one of those? Yep. Welcome to the show, Brianne Beauvais.
Yes.
Hi, Queen. Ooh, welcome.
Yes, Coupon Queen. So why do they call you the Coupon Queen?
Well, I'm known for being able to go to stores like Walmart, get over $100 worth of products for about $4.16 out of pocket, which is super exciting. My best hauls, though, are typically at CVS. That's my favorite store to coupon at, where I easily get over $100 worth of products week after week for either free or sometimes I'll actually make money couponing, which is why couponing can be so powerful.
Okay, so let's talk about the monthly savings. How much money has couponing saved you each month, but also how much time do you have to spend each week putting all of your deals together?
Well, before I started couponing, I would spend probably on average $250 a month on laundry products, paper products, hair care, the whole 9 yards. So once I learned how to coupon and coupon the right way, I'm now able to get 4 or 5 times the amount of products for 75% less, which is incredible. So 1 month, I thought it would be fun to calculate. In June, I grabbed $1,309 worth of products, a variety of different products, and my out-of-pocket cost was just $53.
What?
So a lot of people have the misconception too that it takes so much time because they're used to grandma's couponing where they have 4 carts in the store and all of these paper coupons. But at the end of the day, it's 2022. You can coupon all from your phone, all digitally. You don't have to use a single paper coupon if you don't want to. So you can probably, I coupon, it takes about 5 to 6 hours a week, but I coupon at multiple stores for my audience. So I teach my audience and my students how to coupon at one store once a week. Should take you about 2 hours.
That's amazing.
Wow. So like you were talking about, use several methods to coupon, right? To save money, coupons, reward programs, cashback apps. This seems a little intimidating, like you were saying, for a beginner. How do you suggest someone start? Okay, just tell me that, and I have a follow-up question.
Yeah, so it can definitely seem intimidating at first, and it's mostly because a lot of people try to dive in head first and coupon at all the stores and do all the things. So I always recommend pick one store, download the app so you can start getting comfortable with the different digital coupons and such. I teach couponing like an upside down pyramid. So the more levels of the pyramid you participate in, the more money you're going to save. But start with one level, get really used to it, master it, and then start adding in the different rebate apps. Maybe you want to add in paper coupons, so on and so forth.
All right, so this question's for me personally. Sometimes when I go to a new site, it says save 10% by signing up with your email and phone number. Is that worth 10% in the end for getting emails and phone calls for life?
I think so personally. At the end of the day, I typically don't put my phone number because that's a pain in the butt. I don't want people blowing up my phone. But in email, I feel like everybody has that junk email address that they can use. So I have a specific email that I use so that all my coupons and stuff go there. And then maybe in 2 months, you're like, oh, I need a new pair of shoes. Let me see if Adidas sent me a coupon, or Nike, or whatever your brand is. Let me see if they sent me a coupon, and I can check that email real quick, and then bam, I have some coupons.
That's smart. That's really smart. All right, so I'm kind of a couponer. Is that what you call it, couponer? Couponer.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not right. I do like Rakuten. I do like Retail Me Not. I look up stuff just like you said. CVS is really helpful. You know, it's changed.
CVS?
The CVS.
Who print out like a
but
thing
if you're
this big?
Yeah, but if you're smart, you can really save money. My question is, do you have a favorite like app or digital? Look at her.
Yeah, I can't with those.
It is a little long. Do you have like a digital way or a favorite way of doing it digitally that's changed from those old days of the binders? Is that sort of where you go, or do you go to the store's app?
I go to the store's app. So for CVS, for example, that is my favorite store to coupon at. They have the weekly ad with all the sales and everything right on the app, or you can do it on a computer, of course, as well. They have digital coupons, so you can just clip the digital coupons right on the app. Then when you go to the store, purchase those products, you type in your phone number at the checkout that's associated with your account that you have. And then when they scan the products, they hit total, your digital coupons come off, which is incredible. And then my favorite rebate app that I would say is Ibotta, because they give you actual cash back. It doesn't have to be a gift card. So you can literally transfer it to your PayPal or even directly to your bank account. So you can get additional cash back as well on products that you're already getting a discount on.
This is like game changing.
You can make like 50,
this is
it's
great.
Really good.
Okay, so because you know more about couponing than anybody, what are some of the rules that you live by that you can pass on to us and our viewers?
Well, there's 4 rules that I typically live by. So number 1 is to coupon once a week and do it consistently at one store. Like I said, don't go head first and try to coupon at 5 stores and do all the things, because you will get overwhelmed. You will wind up paying too much out of pocket, which kind of defeats the purpose. So pick one store and stick to it. And I typically recommend picking a pharmacy because they have a rewards program and they have digital coupons. So now you can use the rewards to keep your out-of-pocket even lower. So that is the first rule, super important. The second rule is only buy products you need. Don't get stuck in the trap of, oh, but it's 50% off, right? It's exciting that you're saving 50%, but at the end of the day, if it's not a product that you need or you're gonna use, you're wasting that money and it's coming out of your budget. So you don't want to do that. Make sure it's products that you need so that you're not just buying things to buy things and increasing your out-of-pocket. The third rule that I live by is if coupons or deals aren't working, say you get to check out and you're expecting to pay $10 and a bunch of digital coupons aren't working, maybe the system is having some issues and technical problems, don't feel obligated to pay for it. Don't feel embarrassed. Void the transaction. There's always another deal. There's always another day. Deals are cyclical. So say you love Dove deodorant, there'll be another deal on that in the next couple weeks. So don't pay too much out of pocket or feel embarrassed to void a transaction.
And Bree,
it's not a big deal.
We're running out of time, but luckily with that graphic, we were able to see your fourth tip. Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us and teaching us some money-saving hacks. DBL Nation, to learn how you can save more and even take classes from the coupon queen herself. Check out her website, BreeCouponQueen.com. Thank you so much, Bree. We'll be right back. Thank you. Happy couponing.
Flexibility and During the pandemic, the federal government sent Americans 3 stimulus checks, and the Biden administration remains adamant a 4th stimulus is not on the way. Now, some social media users say California is sending its residents stimulus checks, this time for inflation, with some wondering, what about those who live in the other 49 states? So, let's verify. Are some states sending out inflation relief checks? Our sources are California Governor Gavin Newsom, the California Budget Act of 2022, and the Departments of Revenue, Taxation, and Finance in these 11 states. In 2021, California collected more tax revenue than expected, leading to a historic $97 billion surplus. On June 26th, Newsom announced the state would refund a fifth of the surplus back to Californians in the form of an inflation relief package. Families could get more than $1,000 deposited into their accounts, depending on their income, and California isn't alone. Georgia announced in May that it would also issue a one-time tax refund while citing the high cost of inflation. Other states soon followed, and to date, 12 states have announced they're refunding money back to taxpayers, with many branding the refund as a way to help families with the cost of inflation. So, yes, some states are sending out inflation relief checks that are coming from tax surpluses. How much money and when the money will arrive depends on the policy for residents of the 12 states who are issuing the payment, so you'll want to check with them for details. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter answers your questions, clarifies what's true and false, and even includes a daily fun fact. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
Our next guests have what most of us could only dream of having. Get this, it's a reality show with your best friend where you eat, drink, and party all across the country. And if that wasn't enough, they also make people laugh for a living. Check out our interview with Adam Pally and John Gabris.
Hello. What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
I got to be honest with you, I'm super jealous. I've pitched this idea 142 ways. So God bless you guys. It got off the ground, but I'm going to jump right in. Drinking, eating, partying for a week long. Now I'm 44 years old. So out of you guys, who's usually the first to tap out after all that?
One of the joys of partying with a friend of yours for over 20 years is that you kind of know each other's limits or lack thereof. So you can kind of brace for wherever way the wind's going to blow on that certain night.
I would say frequently we would take turns being the one who was problematically wasted. But then every once in a while we'd both dip our toes into that pool.
And that's when the crew would run.
The crew. So it's one thing to be best friends, but it's another thing to travel with your best friend. So you guys have to get sick of each other sometimes. What do you guys get sick of each other over?
What if we just got in a huge fight right now, Daily Blast? Is that what you want? You want us beefing? Yeah, here's your drama clickbait. Adam and Gabris fighting.
No, I don't think we get on each other's nerves because we already did that a while ago.
Yeah, like we've been friends for too long. It's like we're an old married couple. It's like, oh, Adam's gonna Adam. Oh, yeah. Gabris is gonna Gabris.
And then you just make the best of it.
Oh my God.
I love that. That's good. All right. right, you are in our very own backyard, Denver, and we all go out a lot. We would like to know, what do we not know about partying in our own city?
I'm sure you know everything there is to know, but what we found out is that the altitude does make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, you guys might be adjusted to it at this point, but it does help your bar tab be a little smaller.
Yeah. We found out that you can hit a beer garden by throwing a rock.
Yeah, you guys got plenty of outdoor spots to drink and then do some dumb physical activity at, too.
Yeah,
It's
we
like,
found everyone's doing stuff, throwing darts, playing cornhole, shooting pool. Like, no one's just drinking.
yeah, we come from New York where, you know, it's just sitting and drinking. And in Denver, it's like, I have to play a sport while I have this double IPA.
I pretend to hike and then just go to the brewery at the bottom. Like, I go for 10 minutes and then I go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys,
that's the move. You got to earn your beer.
Totally.
Sounds like you guys nailed Denver right on the head. So not just Denver, you guys visit Maui, Moab, Miami, Puerto Rico, Portland, Richmond, Atlanta. Which city pushes you guys to the limits? You told us a little bit about Denver, but what was most fun for you guys?
Well, I think physically Moab, Utah pushed us the furthest.
Yeah, because that was the most we've ever been out of our comfort zone. We're like from New York. I'm a beach kid, city kid, and then we end up on horses or fly fishing, driving dune buggies through on like nearly vertical rock walls and stuff. It was terrifying, and that was the scariest to us,
Yes.
I would say.
Also, the cuisine in Moab was scary.
The Utah cuisine.
Everything is
a lot of
hearty
bison.
and thick.
Part of the job description is like signing your life away, driving up the side of that hill.
Yeah. Well, the before you die part of the title is for real.
Okay, so we got to know, before we let you guys go, who made the biggest party foul while you guys were filming?
Party foul? I don't know. I think, honestly, I'm sure there were party fouls, but we're such vets. We're such pros at this point.
Man. Like fouling is part of the game, man. Rubbing is racing. That's just part of it.
You're gonna break some.
I'm gonna step on Adam's dope sneakers. We are gonna spill a whole beer. We are gonna lose Adam's cell phone in the car every single day.
I lose my phone every day too.
Yeah, I think Adam sounds like me.
We don't even call people on party fouls.
Because we are one.
Yeah, imagine guys who've been playing street ball for 40 years don't call fouls that often. That's us.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Thanks, Adam and John. We can't wait to see your debut as travel hosts. DBL Nation, 101 Places to Party Before You Die, premieres Thursday, July 14th on True TV. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
The dog days of summer are here, and so too are high utility bills. Many Verify viewers reached out with questions about ways they've heard to beat the heat. So we looked into whether they actually work. First up, will closing your blinds help keep your home cooler? So let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. Department of Energy and Lowe's. When sunlight hits double-pane windows with the blinds open, the DOE says about 76% of it turns into heat. You can help lower that number by closing the blinds. Lowe's recommends using a white blind or shade because it will help deflect more heat. The DOE says the exact percentage saved also depends on the material of your blinds. For example, an insulated shade could reduce unwanted heat by up to 60%, while using just a white curtain will help reduce the heat by a third. So, yes, closing your blinds will help keep your home cooler. All right, next up is a question I frequently ask myself when heading to work. Does turning off the AC at home when I leave for the day save money? Admittedly, the answer to this question has a lot of variables, like where you live and how hot it is outside. Generally, our energy experts recommend leaving the air on during the day. Just turn it up a few degrees. Duke Energy explains you'll use less energy keeping your home at a modest temperature throughout the day, rather than blasting the AC when you get home to try and cool the house. Nebraska's Southwest Public Power District notes turning off your AC could cause your refrigerator to work extra hard to keep food cold, which would negate any savings from turning off the air. Plus, humidity levels may increase, leading to mold, mildew, and causing damage to electronics. So, no, in general, turning off the AC when leaving for the day does not save money. This brings us to our final question about staying cool. So, let's verify. Is there a right temperature to maximize savings? The DOE and Energy Star say setting the AC to 78 degrees is the ideal temperature to maximize savings when you're home. This is about 10% cheaper than setting it at 74 degrees. If you live in an especially warm area, then HVAC technicians recommend setting your AC 20 degrees cooler than the outdoor temperature to avoid straining your air conditioning. So, yes, there is a right temperature to maximize savings. We hope these tips help save you a bit of money this summer. We featured even more of your questions about staying cool on verifythis.com. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Turns out, mowing your lawn in different directions does a lot more than just make your grass look good. Let's connect the dots. According to the experts, the direction you push the mower can make or break your turf. That's because if you mow your lawn in the same direction every time, the grass blades will start to grow in that direction. By alternating patterns, you let the blades grow straighter and healthier. Switching directions also avoids rutting. That's because if you run your mower the same way each week, ruts will start to form. It's not just direction that matters, but length too. If you cut your grass too short, you can end up with dead or dying patches scattered across the lawn. Experts say every lawn is different, but you should generally cut your grass at about 2.5 to 3 inches tall.
Welcome back. Tori, you got some comments?
I sure do. Cecile says, I shop good deals at Trader Joe's.
Oh, Trader Joe's is great.
That little pamphlet, with the little newspaper. And finally, Steven says, I'm not sure about the extreme couponing. It seems like you end up with 20 tubes of toothpaste you don't need.
That's Costco for you.
Yeah.
Jeff's an expert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
See you guys.
Where hope finds help. Where courage meets conviction. Where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities. Where national know-how, that's local business. Be in good company with Tegna.
I know you lying. You are wrong as all get out.
Be honest about what you are, but don't get tough when BLM protesters are walking down the street.
I don't know how much time we have, but I'm about to go on this rampage really quick. Okay, 1 minute.
Who are you?
I'm Tori.
Oh.
I thought everyone knew. Sorry.
Don't you respect my opinions as well? I have to respect yours. Can't you respect mine? Raise the roof.
Yes.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
DBL is all new every day.
Talking about Daily Blast Live.
A pregnant woman fights a carpool lane ticket with the recent Roe v. Wade reversal. Should her unborn baby count as a passenger? Crazy videos from hikers getting caught in an avalanche.
Oh dear God.
To sea lions chasing after people on the beach. Florence Pugh calls out body shamers after wearing a see-through dress while she's telling men to grow up. And the coupon queen of the internet will be here live with easy ways you can save some major moolah.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Tori and Erica back with the team.
Yeah.
Finally.
Thanks for having us back.
Yeah.
This morning I woke up and I was like, do I still have a job?
Yeah. I used my card and I was like, does it beep? It beeps. I'm still gone for a long time. We're happy that you're back. We're going to actually take a couple moments coming up soon, so stay tuned to hear about both of y'all's little trips, okay?
Okay.
Big trips. Like Jeff and I just went to like a nearby lake. They went on big trips. Good one, Jeff. Okay. All right, the gang's all back. Okay, so we are going to kick things off with a very controversial topic. Abortion. Now that Roe v. Wade has been overturned, the president is considering declaring a public health emergency to free up federal resources to promote abortion access. So meantime, over the weekend, protests continue in states where abortion is now illegal, including in St. Louis, where demonstrators blocked, as you can see right there, they blocked an entire highway. Well, I want you to, okay, so you may have seen this because this has gone viral. Check out this woman, okay, she's a pregnant woman in Texas. She was pulled over for driving in the carpool lane, and she was given a $275 ticket. Well, she's fighting back, claiming her unborn child was the second passenger in the car. Here's what she explained to our affiliate WFAA in Dallas.
One law saying that it's a baby, and now he's telling me that this baby that's jabbing my ribs is not a baby. Why can't it all make sense?
So this actually brings up a bunch of questions about the rights of the unborn in states where abortion is now illegal. Like, can you claim an unborn child on your taxes? Tori, what do you think of this? And I should also say that since this woman has spoken out about her incident, there has been caravans of women in protest going in these lanes saying, pregnant women saying, oh, but I'm not alone. I have a child with me.
Yeah, you can't have it one way and not the other, right? The Constitution, if you want to take away a fundamental right and say that that is a person, then do I pay child support? Does it get a name? Does it get Social Security? Does it get deported? If the mom goes to jail, is it wrongfully accused? I mean, these are questions that are going to tie up the courts in knots for years and years and years. So bravo to these women to say, here's your first issue with this, right? You took away our rights. This is what we're going to come back with. If you're going to say this is a human, can I claim this as a dependent? I mean, that's what you're going to get. And good for them fiscally to go that route, because that's going to be hitting them where it counts, and that's the wallet. Right now, it's very clear that Biden has 64% of the Democrats saying, we don't want you. Okay? No one's fighting for women. And no one's out there thinking outside the box, codifying Roe, all these things. This woman sort of set the spark off.
Well, what would you say to the people, though? Because, you know, we do have viewers that write in saying that this is a victory. So we have to address that side.
And if it is a victory, which I know a lot of people do, and I want to respect that, then it has to be a person, though, throughout. It can't be a person when you want it to be, and not when it's convenient. That doesn't work in legal minds. It doesn't work.
I have nothing to add to that other than, no, I 100% agree, other than the fact that I think that pregnant women should be allowed to be in HOV lanes. Why? I just believe that just based on being pregnant, you should be able to do that.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
There should be a lot of benefits for pregnant women, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if this was a great, clever idea to try to get out of a ticket, but that's what I think it is. I don't know if you're going to get out of that ticket. If you're in that lane, you need to have another passenger. I get the complaint. I get how it's clever. I'm all for clever. Right. I get the loophole, but I don't know if that's necessarily going to get you out of a ticket and tie the courts up. I don't think you are an American in this country till you start paying taxes, and that happens the day after you come out of the womb.
Oh, well, Tori just did this to you.
What's that?
You missed it, like a boom.
Well, that's the point. So if you're saying that's true, once they're born, that's a person. And by the way, that's what Jewish people in their religion feel. The first breath is when they become a person. And Jews are now suing, saying it's not my religion that it's against. So if that's true, though, then you got to make that fair for everything.
Right.
So not only traffic tickets, a lot of things.
Let me get in this next beat really quickly, because there is, here's an interesting, I would say, workaround for women seeking abortion services. I don't know if you guys have heard this. This is specifically for women in the South, where it's now illegal. A doctor in California has proposed a floating abortion clinic in the Gulf of Mexico as a way for folks in Texas, Louisiana, and Alabama to get access. What do we think of this idea? What do you think, Jeff? Oh, go ahead, Erica.
Well, this is terrifying to me because out of everything, other than the fact that we have less rights than our mothers did, it's a safety issue. This is a major safety issue. Anytime you start taking away someone's personal rights, liberties, and freedoms, then that is a dog whistle to people to say that they aren't as valuable, important, or as much of a human as you are. And that makes them and their lives placed in jeopardy. If you are going to do something like this, and I understand that we're going to have to figure out how to move forward should Roe versus Wade be overturned completely and permanently.
Right.
Then yes, there are going to have to be ways to do that. Having a floating center is going to also allow people to know where that in and out is for women who need to get abortion assistance.
See, I think it's a good thing.
See, I'm talking about just the idea of people knowing that that's what that is. It's the same thing that really hits home to me with the idea of a woman not being able to get an abortion if she's pregnant, and maybe that man doesn't want a child. Maybe that man doesn't want a child so much that now her life is in jeopardy because he's going to ensure that she doesn't have that child. Maybe that man's married. Maybe that's someone whose family doesn't want them to have a baby that isn't aligned or in the same color or religion or whatever it is as the rest of the family. We are talking about endangering women every single day. There are so many domestic disputes, so many domestic altercations that occur over pregnancy. So this to me is just another way of people knowing this is exactly the reason why this person has to go into the Gulf of Mexico to get assistance. I agree that there needs to be workarounds.
Yeah.
I'm just scared for what something like this means.
Wow. All right, well, coming up on DBL, Florence Pugh is clapping back at body shamers online. Her message for them after wearing a see-through dress to an event. And is clipping coupons really worth your time? The queen of coupons is here live with the answer. But first, an avalanche threatens a hiker, and sea lions chase away beachgoers. Look at them. Good for them. We'll show you the crazy videos from vacations gone wrong.
Closed captioning provided by
DBL is all new every day.
Tiffany, how was your break? Good?
It was good. I went to Kansas City.
Oh, nice. And you had a good time?
I did.
Good.
I just relaxed.
That's what everyone needs. I guess I was saying, sorry to jump back. I was thinking.
Oh, I want to hear from. Yeah, I want to hear your point of view and then Jeff's.
Yeah,
point
what
of
did
view.
you think about the floating?
The floating.
I don't think it's that silly, all in all, right? It's a way to work around the law, right? And I use that example of like floating casinos. In Illinois, you couldn't gamble, but if you put it on a riverboat and build a casino around that, you beat the law. And that's what they did, and then eventually became legal. I think this is a good way around the law by being legal, not.
Yeah, what if
to
there's
those
a bunch
standards,
of protesters like that are bounty hunters
yeah, but
and take
how is
them
that different
on
than
their own?
any other abortion clinic? You know, the clinics are there. This is a clinic as well. There could be other things out there, and I just think it's a clever way around the law.
I agree. I think it's a clever loophole. If you don't know maritime law, it doesn't have jurisdiction with the state, so they can't touch it. I also think that some people are promoting federal buildings.
Oh, I heard this
being used. So like a Capitol building, right, or a federal
They
building
have their
for
own,
they have their own jurisdiction on their land. As a state can't say anything. So turn that into an abortion clinic, or have a space for a Planned Parenthood in the lobby.
But the federal budget has never once contributed, not even a dime or a penny, to abortions.
Right.
Even when they supported Planned Parenthood, they had it allocated separately. And I should just say Planned Parenthood, 90-something% of their donations goes to women's health care, which is largely like mammograms and gynecological exams. I just think people should know that. But federally, they've never...
Which doesn't preclude that they can.
But would they do it if their precedent so far has been to stay away?
Biden needs to do something. So if this, I agree, but the Democrats either have to do this or they lose in the midterms. All right, bye.
We have exciting.
Welcome back. So it's the summer travel season, and before we get into like some of these vacation or videos gone wrong, we want to hear about your trips. So you went all over the place.
Yeah, I was all over the place. I started with my sister, my mom and dad in Belize, and that was awesome. Wow. That's actually not Belize. This is okay. These are like all the random things that happen. My mom's birthday.
Art
I did
class.
Yes, there was an art. Well, my mom wanted to do a pause and paint for her birthday.
Good for her.
And so we did that on their deck, and then they have a dock. My mom's now in this boating community on the river. So I think we might have these Jello shots because my mother ran me this week. Okay, we had to make 800 Jello shots for this boating thing that they do every year on the river, and my mom wants to be a part of this community now. So we did all these things.
Good for her.
It was crazy.
Like a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, I am exhausted.
You're tired.
Yeah.
You need a vacation from your vacation.
Totally.
And Michael Dean, I'm sorry, I was supposed to start with Tori, but I didn't. But Tori, tell us about your trip.
No worries. I know. I like that boaters wave to each other. I always thought that was nice.
Well, it's to make sure you see each other.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Etiquette. Boating etiquette.
Did not know that.
Anything to acknowledge Tori. I'm here. Oh, hi.
I should move out of the way. I didn't tell you.
Go. I went back to Cape Cod for my in-laws, but D.C. to see my family, and we saw the 4th in D.C. over the Capitol. Here's my family on the wharf. My dad looking at the U.S. Capitol, and I know this is lame and kind of corny and not cool, but and then we were in a pool.
You guys are dancing.
Yeah, but it's really neat to talk and see the Capitol that you and I and all of us have been spending so much time discussing about January 6th, and see the fireworks over what really has become a beacon of American democracy. It's not Jello shots. Do I wish it were? Yes.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, but it was lovely to see that and be with my father, who instilled that within me.
I love it. Really quickly, I'm going to show you a photo of, I went to see Minions over the weekend, and I just thought it was bananas that when, first of all, my husband fell asleep, and I was like, I can't believe he's sleeping. I would love to take a 2-hour nap. And then I look around, there was about 20 dads in the theater. I'd say 15 of them were asleep. That's not okay. That's not fair.
No, the moms have to be awake for everything.
It's not okay. The difference between moms and dads. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, speaking of summer travel, we've got some viral videos of some summer trips that didn't quite go according to plan. So up first, check out what one hiker caught on camera while traveling overseas. Okay, look at this. A giant avalanche from the top of the mountain started barreling down. Now, the hiker actually hid behind a giant rock as the snow and ice came toward him. He is okay, as are his fellow hikers who just got some minor scrapes and cuts.
That is
what would you do?
We'll jump behind that rock. I don't think people take Mother Nature as serious as they should. That person probably thought it was just going to roll down the side of the hill. Just like when you're in a wave or something, the ocean is very powerful, and if you're not careful, things like this happen.
Wow. Yes. Okay, speaking of the ocean, this next video is from a beach in San Diego. Watch as a couple of sea lions chase away some of the folks on the beach. Looks like they were sick of sharing their space. They even go after some of the surfers in the water. Nobody was hurt, and they ended up swimming away. I don't blame them. Look how many people are jammed in that cove.
There's not room for everybody.
Yeah, and that's the sea lion's home.
It's their house.
It is kind of like, like for the first time they're fighting back.
Good.
Good for I hear you. They're not lying.
That's if Jeff were a sea lion, that would be Jeff.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. Those are like protesters to me. I'm sticking anything to a stick and running around the beach.
Excuse me? That's your lawn. What would you do if 300 people showed up
I'd go to a different
to your own lawn?
I don't know, Sam. This video stinks.
You don't like this video?
I mean, come on.
Yeah. What would you do if you were there?
I don't know.
Nothing?
Head for the hills.
You would head for the hills? Okay.
What goes up must come down.
Okay. I have a lot of experience with sea lions because in Santa Cruz, 10, okay. I'll tell you guys in one of the breaks.
Please,
I can give you tips
I'm on pins and
about
needles.
seals and sea lions and even elephant seals.
Whoa.
I will give you all the details.
Excellent.
Coming up on DBL, the coupon queen is here live. There she is. If you enjoy saving money, you're going to want to stick around. We're back in 2 minutes.
Suffer from pain? You're not alone.
During the pandemic, the federal government sent Americans 3 stimulus checks, and the Biden administration remains adamant a 4th stimulus is not on the way. Now, some social media users say California is sending its residents stimulus checks, this time for inflation, with some wondering, what about those who live in the other 49 states? So let's verify. Are some states sending out inflation relief checks? Our sources are California Governor Gavin Newsom, the California Budget Act of 2022, and the Departments of Revenue, Taxation, and Finance in these 11 states. In 2021, California collected more tax revenue than expected, leading to a historic $97 billion surplus. On June 26th, Newsom announced the state would refund a fifth of the surplus back to Californians in the form of an inflation relief package. Families could get more than $1,000 deposited into their accounts, depending on their income, and California isn't alone. Georgia announced in May that it would also issue a one-time tax refund while citing the high cost of inflation. Other states soon followed, and to date, 12 states have announced they're refunding money back to taxpayers, with many branding the refund as a way to help families with the cost of inflation. So, yes, some states are sending out inflation relief checks that are coming from tax surpluses. How much money and when the money will arrive depends on the policy for residents of the 12 states who are issuing the payment, so you'll want to check with them for details. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter answers your questions, clarifies what's true and false, and even includes a daily fun fact. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
So we did have some technical difficulties with our guest. Shall I talk
But the good news is...
Yeah. Okay, so let me just tell you the difference between them, because let me tell you, that will decipher on how you act.
Fair.
So the seals, like if you ever peruse like the piers in San Francisco and you see all the seals at the piers, those are like the dogs of the sea.
Okay.
They're very friendly. They might jump on your surfboard and say hello. You don't have to worry about those seals. If you're in like the La Jolla Coves, that I believe is at the La Jolla Cove, also a good surf spot. Those are the sea lions. Very territorial.
Aggressive.
Especially if they have babies. You better back up. Now, elephant seals. Whew, if you go to Año Nuevo over in Northern California and you go see those elephant seals, they're like twice the size of this table.
See, I don't like animals.
Thousands of pounds. And they will do, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on TV. Am I? No. Well, they will have sexual activity with multiple elephant seals.
Polyamorous.
Yep. Sure. They will fight, and it's very scary to see them fight. And then they will sometimes do things to their babies that I don't like to watch. But anyways, stay away from elephant seals, sea lions, dogs of the sea. Seals are okay.
There could have been a cardboard cutout of me today, just sitting here. We need to get one of those, yeah.
Story though. We do have a story. They're all over the elephant seals and they want me to tell a story. Okay, so Amber Heard is asking the court for a new trial against Johnny Depp. Amber's attorney claims the wrong juror sat in on the 6-week trial. The juror who showed up had the same last name. Oh, and address as the juror who was summoned to appear. What? But the court apparently did not catch it. So her legal team is asking the judge to throw it out or throw out the verdict. Meantime, Johnny seems to reference Amber in a new song with musician Jeff Beck. On the track titled Sad Bleeping Parade, Johnny sings, quote, "You're sitting there like a dog with a 7-year itch. If I had a dime, I wouldn't reach your hand." Oh, it wouldn't reach your hand. I don't get it.
It doesn't even rhyme.
That's not that good.
Let's talk about the jury thing. I do want to talk about that. I think they meant the dog and the whole thing with the bed and that situation with that. But with the jury thing, this is a real issue. If the wrong person came on jury duty because they had the same last name and never thought to check the first name, that is a mistrial in many, many judges' cases. And we're going to go through the whole thing all over again.
You're kidding? No, we not.
I'm not kidding you. If you have the wrong juror, you haven't been seen by a juror of your peers that you agreed to during voir dire, which we all know from my cousin Vinny, and you are absolutely allowed
to televise it again.
I don't know if the next judge will.
Look at Erica.
But is it really, like, truly, is it really enough to cause a mistrial?
Absolutely. That is absolutely jury misconduct.
How did they miss that?
Someone read the wrong name or wanted clout to get on the jury for Amber Heard.
Of course.
They wanted to write a book. You know what I'm saying? Or they wanted to say I was in that jury.
Or didn't want to go and, like, have their...
And give, exactly.
Who's going to pay for this trial? It's our tax dollars.
You are. Exactly.
You're paying for this, bro. Did you know that?
Well, we could slip in an Amber Heard story other than that seal story, you know, like so.
You know you learned something, and you know if you're ever at a beach with an elephant seal or a sea lion, you're going to run. If you see the cutie seal, you know you're going to be like, what up, cutie? Right?
We're still going.
Oh, my God. Jeff woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Wrong side of the bed? What are we doing here?
Go back to sleep and wake up on the other side, please.
Cool avalanche.
We'll be right back. That was a cool avalanche.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
The dog days of summer are here, and so too are high utility bills. Many Verify viewers reached out with questions about ways they've heard to beat the heat. So we looked into whether they actually work. First up, will closing your blinds help keep your home cooler? So let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. Department of Energy and Lowe's. When sunlight hits double-pane windows with the blinds open, the DOE says about 76% of it turns into heat. You can help lower that number by closing the blinds. Lowe's recommends using a white blind or shade because it will help deflect more heat. The DOE says the exact percentage saved also depends on the material of your blinds. For example, an insulated shade could reduce unwanted heat by up to 60%, while using just a white curtain will help reduce the heat by a third. So, yes, closing your blinds will help keep your home cooler. All right, next up is a question I frequently ask myself when heading to work. Does turning off the AC at home when I leave for the day save money? Admittedly, the answer to this question has a lot of variables, like where you live and how hot it is outside. Generally, our energy experts recommend leaving the air on during the day. Just turn it up a few degrees. Duke Energy explains you'll use less energy keeping your home at a modest temperature throughout the day, rather than blasting the AC when you get home to try and cool the house. Nebraska's Southwest Public Power District notes turning off your AC could cause your refrigerator to work extra hard to keep food cold, which would negate any savings from turning off the air. Plus, humidity levels may increase, leading to mold, mildew, and causing damage to electronics. So, no, in general, turning off the AC when leaving for the day does not save money. This brings us to our final question about staying cool. So, let's verify. Is there a right temperature to maximize savings? The DOE and Energy Star say setting the AC to 78 degrees is the ideal temperature to maximize savings when you're home. This is about 10% cheaper than setting it at 74 degrees. If you live in an especially warm area, then HVAC technicians recommend setting your AC 20 degrees cooler than the outdoor temperature to avoid straining your air conditioning. So, yes, there is a right temperature to maximize savings. We hope these tips help save you a bit of money this summer. We feature even more of your questions about staying cool on verifythis.com. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Turns out, mowing your lawn in different directions does a lot more than just make your grass look good. Let's connect the dots. According to the experts, the direction you push the mower can make or break your turf. That's because if you mow your lawn in the same direction every time, the grass blades will start to grow in that direction. By alternating patterns, you let the blades grow straighter and healthier. Switching directions also avoids rutting. That's because if you run your mower the same way each week, ruts will start to form. It's not just direction that matters, but length too. If you cut your grass too short, you can end up with dead or dying patches scattered across the lawn. Experts say every lawn is different, but you should generally cut your grass at about 2.5 to 3 inches tall.
Welcome back. We are going to have that coupon queen later in the show. She's going to give us lots of advice and tips and tricks. But now we're going to talk about former baseball player Derek Jeter. He's clearing up a long-standing rumor about him. Legend has it that Derek used to give out swag bags of his own memorabilia, including autographed baseballs to the ladies he hooked up with. It was also reported one woman got 2 identical gift baskets on 2 separate occasions, but apparently none of it is true. Derek set the record straight on the ESPN docuseries The Captain, saying the gift baskets never happened. How weird would that be?
I think it's weird, but I've also heard this rumor. Like when you go to Derek Jeter's house, again, I don't know if this is true, but it's the rumor out there. If you're anybody, you go to after parties, because he'd have them, a very celebrity guy, shortstop for the New York Yankees, come on. You'd have to leave your phone at the door if you were going to come in his house, and then after you left, you had your phone, he'd give you a little gift basket.
Oh, God.
That's like the rumor, but he cleared it up, and apparently that's not true.
Memorabilia?
Yeah.
Well, you could sell it.
I do think it's lame that it's his memorabilia, but am I wrong that like a gift basket after like?
Oh, I do dig a good gift basket.
I love a gift basket.
Not after a one-night stand, y'all. How low
a
is
Starbucks
the bar
gift
possibly gonna be? I mean, you got a stock item full in your closet of something that you give to every person that leaves after you hooked up with them. I would be so offended. I would be highly offended.
But I would go in knowing this is Derek Jeter. I'm making this decision, and like to get
depending what's in the gift basket, I'd be like, that's thoughtful.
Exactly. Totally. Right. If it's,
really?
Well, yeah, because I mean, it's already a celebrity. It's already sort of a caricature of a story. Why not end with that kind of a note?
I'd be more offended that I'd have to turn in my phone. I'd be like, give me a break, buddy. Come on. I might need it to talk to the babysitter. Enough.
You're not going to be there if you need the babysitter.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why wouldn't I be invited there?
I don't know, Sam.
Shake Jeff.
Shake Jeff. What do you mean, why wouldn't you be there?
Why wouldn't I be there? You said because I had a babysitter. What's wrong
You're
with
out in Manhattan with the shortstop from the New York Yankees. You think he's like, is your family okay? No.
How do you
there's other singles around.
I was just simply saying that the reason why you're there also would be the antithesis of the reason why you would need to check in. Like, you don't want nobody to know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe people do want people to know.
You said he throws after parties. It's not just singles that go to the after parties.
It said after a hookup. Read that.
I know.
But he used to throw after parties till like after the clubs close at 3 in the morning. What do you mean I can't? It's 3 a.m. Why are you out?
Why can't I be there? If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half
You're not
of the show
invited.
online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you get the second half of the show where you are, here is what's ahead. Florence Pugh is calling out body shaming comments online, why she's defending her decision to wear a see-through dress to an event, and imagine having a reality show with your best friend where you eat, drink, and party. We're joined by 2 comedians living the dream.
Could turning on this machine create a black hole? This is the Large Hadron Collider, one of the largest particle accelerators in the world, operated by the European Organization for Nuclear Research, known as CERN. On July 5th, it was powered up after a 3-year upgrade and maintenance hiatus. The news prompted conspiracy theories to spread online, with people speculating what might happen after the machine was turned on. Verify viewer Wilson emailed to ask if CERN's Large Hadron Collider can open up a cosmic black hole. So let's verify. Our sources are CERN, the U.S. Department of Energy, NASA, and Dejan Stojkovic, a physics professor with the University of Buffalo. According to NASA, cosmic black holes form in space when stars much bigger than the sun collapse on themselves. The result is, quote, gravitational fields so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape, and a gravitational pull so powerful that it can pull in nearby material and, quote, eat it. The CERN LHC can't create a cosmic black hole, but here's what it can do. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, a particle accelerator speeds up the smallest known particles, such as electrons or protons, to very high energies, which, according to CERN, allows researchers to study what happens and potentially gain insights into fundamental laws of nature. Physics professor Dejan Stojkovic told Verify in an email that current technologies aren't capable of creating a cosmic black hole, adding, quote, we need an accelerator as big as the whole universe to do that, so we should either improve our technology drastically or we should build a bigger accelerator, unquote. So we can verify, no, CERN's Large Hadron Collider particle accelerator can't create a cosmic black hole. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. If a cosmic black hole were created when CERN turned on that machine, Stojkovic says surrounding material would fall into that black hole until the whole Earth was swallowed. But that's clearly not what happened. Instead, this is. Scientists identified 3 never-before-seen particles. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
No.
Y'all, just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. So Florence Pugh is clapping back at online trolls after she wore a sheer dress to a fashion show. Florence posted pics in the see-through Valentino dress. Let me just look. Okay, well, we have a bar, so I can't see anything, saying she expected comments, both negative and positive, but didn't expect what she called, quote-unquote, vulgar comments from men, commenting on her chest size. On Instagram, she wrote, quote, "What's been interesting to watch and witness is just how easy it is for men to totally destroy a woman's body publicly, proudly, for everyone to see. I've lived in my body for a long time. I'm fully aware of my breast size, and I'm not scared of it." What did you think, Erica, of the reaction?
I mean, it's pretty much par for the course. If she just happened to be wearing a more revealing piece, she looked beautiful, by the way.
She did look good.
Like a piece of art.
Didn't you think? And she's wearing
She
great.
really does.
Yeah.
But, you know, as women or men too, I mean, you go on social media to post anything, you could be talking about, the subject could be apples, and all of a sudden they're blasting you about something on your body or on your face or, you know, whatever. It's like people just love to come after people for things that they don't have control over, they do have control over. People just like coming for you.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna have to continue on because you're gonna get tired before I do.
What do you think, Tori?
Okay, well, here's the deal. In Europe, bare breasts are very different than America. And if you don't know why, really, the background is we came in as Puritans, and sex was sort of, Americans see sex as a no-no. As pilgrims, they were wearing the bonnets and all that. And in Europe, they've had centuries of sort of romanticizing the human body, including art. So it's odd because I think she's a Brit. Am I right? She's British. So for her, the nipple or whatever it is, I'm sorry if I can't say that, isn't a huge deal. And she also is saying it's mine. She knew it would cause things, but to say like your chest is so small over and over again, it just shows you the difference between where, to me, Americans are like 10 or 12-year-olds. You know what I mean? They're like, oh my gosh. And Europeans are like, what? It's my body. What do you want?
I didn't think pilgrims were going to enter conversation, but apparently they did.
Yeah, Tori, it will.
Well, we're very puritanical about sex here.
Yeah, and I don't listen. That's fine. Men are disgusting. Blame men for this story. But I think it's.
Say men.
I think it. No. I'm just. That's what they said. Men on this story. So I'm the only man up here.
Not all men.
You're right. I'm not sticking up for men. Is my point.
Okay.
I'm saying I think a lot of people are just outlandish on social media. It doesn't matter if you're a man. People just want to hate you because you're in a position that they wish they were in, and then they want to throw a comment about your body or your personality or your political point of view just to knock you down off that pedestal. I mean, you need to get something under control.
You know what I think is interesting, though? Depending on who does it. Right? Like if you see Zoe Kravitz do it, it's like cool and artsy, and her followers kind of like, you know, it will celebrate her. If it were like Anne Hathaway doing it, she would get a lot of pushback. Isn't that interesting? For me, it's, you know, we apply that sometimes to men too. Like if Robert Downey Jr. did something that's a little bit more bad boy-esque, you would expect it, as opposed to maybe like a Bradley Cooper or a Tom Hanks.
Totally.
All of a sudden they're canceled. So it depends on who does it too, in my opinion. It's weird.
Yeah, you could do this for every story. There's people that write terrible things on every single post in history.
But she was being provocative. Let's not forget the fact that she came out in a sheer dress. So people out there, I mean, it's, you know, she expected some kind of response.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to talk about the housewives now. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Jen Shah has now pleaded guilty to fraud and faces jail time. So Jen appeared at a Manhattan court today and changed her plea from not guilty to guilty. She admitted to running a telemarketing scheme and said many of her victims were over the age of 55.
Ugh, shame on her.
So here's the thing. She could spend up to 14 years in prison. Now, on the show, cameras caught the moment Jen got a phone call. Eric and I have talked about this. And then quickly got off a bus that was going to Vail. Moments later, federal agents rolled in looking to arrest Jen. She will be sentenced in November. And a lot of people believe like the producers were somehow
Andy Cohen
on
must
the
have
facilitation of this. What do you think, Erica?
Yeah, I have pontificated about if the producers were in on it or not, and I don't believe that they were. I've been on a couple of Bravo podcasts to talk about it. I don't believe that that was the case. I think we would have gotten a lot more if they were.
Yeah.
The cameras would have followed. I have a very First of all, it's a sad story in the respect that she's a mother, she has young children. We actually saw the Ring camera surveillance of her young black children with their hands up coming out under gunpoint. Wow. That was actually footage that Jen herself released to Bravo. So it was one of the most disturbing things I had ever seen on Bravo. And I think it's important that we know that she was the reason why. I've always speculated as to what was up with Jen Shaw, simply because the math never seemed to really be mathing. The idea that she kept saying that she was doing lead generation also gives you access to demographics. Specifically, we're talking about an elderly population or an older population who are going to be more vulnerable. Right. So the idea that she's flaunting all of this wealth, which it was wealth. I mean, sometimes she would appear on the show and she would have an outfit that was over $100,000.
Are you kidding me?
Easily.
How did Andy Cohen?
You can't Louis, Fendi, Gucci, Prada, and not have it calculate, you know?
Wow.
So the idea that she is doing this and finally taking the guilty plea is probably for the best, because no one else who has gone before the judge, and there's been over 20 people, have gotten off. Like, they've gotten either, you know, like 5 to 10 or closer to 20, and they've also had to pay restitution anywhere from, like, I think $5,000 to millions.
Wow.
So yeah, if you're gonna, whatever you do in the dark comes out in the light. I feel bad for her family.
Right. Wow.
But that's
the collateral damage, right?
I like that Louis Prada. It sounded like a hook.
Louis, Gucci, Fendi.
Is that a song?
Yeah, I think in like the early 2000s.
Oh, see, I got an ear for it. Because I was like, that could be a song.
Glad you're relevant.
You're wearing a Qbert shirt.
My shirt is very Gleaming the Cube from the 80s. That was a skater movie with
Remember
Christian.
Qbert, where you jump up like your shirt and you make it to the top?
Cool. Qbert's awesome. I'll take it. Okay.
I love it.
I do too. Coming up on DBL, we've got the coupon queen back. She's going to join us after the break to talk all about saving some major money. And two best friends are on a mission to find the best places to party. We're going to introduce you to the hilarious duo coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
DBL is all new every day.
I thought that was Molly. I was like, well, and you saw the part that
Can I be honest, you guys?
Ali
In the prompter, it said the word including, but it said INC. Did you see this? And then it said
that one house
looting on the next level. And I said I read it as ink. Looting.
Like this and have the Ali Sheedy hair. And then I
thought it was
googled
really
it
funny.
and there's a bunch of 80s.
I've missed like the air being sucked out of the
So
studio.
annoying. You guys keep being so unhelpful today. So unhelpful.
I love it.
How are you guys? What's going on? What is the weather where you guys are? Because we're at record-breaking highs here. Record-breaking highs, I reckon.
I think it's only supposed to be 80 or 81.
Yeah, yesterday was
really cooled off. This week, when did you get back? It was
100
really
degrees and it broke
Don't tell me
8-year records for Denver.
Episode yet.
And I know I came back, but I'm not that hot. I'm so rusty. I'm so rusty. And I'm hot and I'm uncomfortable and I'm anxious.
You tried it. Only 20 minutes left. Only 20 minutes left.
I'm sweating a lot.
You're throwing them out there.
Yeah, but they're not biting. They're not biting. Any also want to have any recommendations for shows? I am all out of shows. I watched Stranger Things. I got nothing. I already saw it.
We're watching The Old Man. Ira suggested that. That's good. My parents. It's good. It's with Jeff Bridges and the guy from 30 Rock, the older guy, John Lithgow.
Oh, remember him in Dexter when he was the bad guy in
so
Dexter?
good.
John Lithgow is excellent.
Yeah, I'm watching The Old Man. It's good.
It's Jeff Bridges had cancer, am I right? That's good for him.
He does a good job. It's a little out there, but it's cool.
Yeah, I need some help, guys. Give me something. Preferably with.
Welcome back. So prices seem to keep rising, so we love to find any way to save some cash. We've got the queen of couponing joining us for tips and tricks to snag the best deals, and it doesn't include your grandmother's binder of paper clippings. You guys remember one of those? Yep. Welcome to the show, Brianne Beauvais.
Yes.
Queen. Ooh, welcome.
Yes, coupon queen.
Thank
so why do they
you.
call you the coupon queen?
Well, I'm known for being able to go to stores like Walmart, get over $100 worth of products for about $4.16 out of pocket, which is super exciting. My best hauls, though, are typically at CVS. That's my favorite store to coupon at, where I easily get over $100 worth of products week after week for either free, or sometimes I'll actually make money couponing, which is why couponing can be so powerful.
Okay, so let's talk about the monthly savings. How much money has couponing saved you each month, but also how much time do you have to spend each week putting all of your deals together?
Well, before I started couponing, I would spend probably on average $250 a month on laundry products, paper products, hair care, the whole 9 yards. So once I learned how to coupon and coupon the right way, I'm now able to get 4 or 5 times the amount of products for 75% less, which is incredible. So one month I thought it would be fun to calculate. In June, I grabbed $1,309 worth of products, a variety of different products, and my out-of-pocket cost was just $53.
What?
So a lot of people have the misconception, too, that it takes so much time because they're used to grandma's couponing where they have 4 carts in the store and all of these paper coupons. But at the end of the day, it's 2022. You can coupon all from your phone, all digitally. You don't have to use a single paper coupon if you don't want to. So you can I coupon, it takes about 5 to 6 hours a week, but I coupon at multiple stores for my audience. So I teach my audience and my students how to coupon at one store once a week. Should take you about 2 hours.
That's amazing.
Wow. So you were talking about, use several methods to coupon, right? To save money, coupons, reward programs, cashback apps. This seems a little intimidating, like you were saying, for a beginner. How do you suggest someone start? Okay, just tell me that, and I have a follow-up question.
Yeah, so it can definitely seem intimidating at first, and it's mostly because a lot of people try to dive in head first and coupon at all the stores and do all the things. So I always recommend pick one store, download the app so you can start getting comfortable with the different digital coupons and such. I teach couponing like an upside-down pyramid. So the more levels of the pyramid you participate in, the more money you're going to save. But start with one level, get really used to it, master it, and then start adding in the different rebate apps. Maybe you want to add in paper coupons, so on and so forth.
All right, so this question's for me personally. Sometimes when I go to a new site, it says save 10% by signing up with your email and phone number. Is that worth 10% in the end for getting emails and phone calls for life?
I think so personally. At the end of the day, I typically don't put my phone number because that's a pain in the butt. I don't want people blowing up my phone. But in email, I feel like everybody has that junk email address that they can use. So I have a specific email that I use so that all my coupons and stuff go there. And then maybe in 2 months, you're like, oh, I need a new pair of shoes. Let me see if Adidas sent me a coupon, or Nike, or whatever your brand is. Let me see if they sent me a coupon, and I can check that email real quick, and then bam, I have some coupons.
That's smart. That's really smart. All right, so I'm kind of a couponer. Is that what you call it? Couponer? Couponer.
Yeah.
Like, that's not right. I do like Rakuten. I do like Retail Me Not. I look up stuff just like you said. CVS is really helpful. You know, it's changed.
CVS?
The CVS.
Who print out like a
but
thing this big?
Yeah, but if you're smart, you can really save money. My question is, do you have a favorite like app or digital? Look at her.
Yeah, I can't with those.
It is a little long. Do you have like a digital way or a favorite way of doing it digitally that's changed from those old days of the binders? Is that sort of where you go, or do you go to the store's app?
I go to the store's app. So for CVS, for example, that is my favorite store to coupon at. They have the weekly ad with all the sales and everything right on the app, or you can do it on a computer, of course, as well. They have digital coupons, so you can just clip the digital coupons right on the app. Then when you go to the store, purchase those products, you type in your phone number at the checkout that's associated with your account that you have. And then when they scan the products, they hit total, your digital coupons come off, which is incredible. And then my favorite rebate app that I would say is Ibotta, because they give you actual cash back. It doesn't have to be a gift card. So you can literally transfer it to your PayPal or even directly to your bank account.
Wow.
So you can get additional cash back as well on products that you're already getting a discount on.
This is like game changing.
You can make like 50,
This is
it's
great.
Really good.
Okay, so because you know more about couponing than anybody, what are some of the rules that you live by that you can pass on to us and our viewers?
Well, there's 4 rules that I typically live by. So number 1 is to coupon once a week and do it consistently at one store. Like I said, don't go head first and try to coupon at 5 stores and do all the things, because you will get overwhelmed. You will wind up paying too much out of pocket, which kind of defeats the purpose. So pick one store and stick to it. And I typically recommend picking a pharmacy because they have a rewards program and they have digital coupons. So now you can use the rewards to keep your out-of-pocket even lower. So that is the first rule, super important. The second rule is only buy products you need. Don't get stuck in the trap of, oh, but it's 50% off, right? It's exciting that you're saving 50%, but at the end of the day, if it's not a product that you need or you're gonna use, you're wasting that money and it's coming out of your budget. So you don't want to do that. Make sure it's products that you need so that you're not just buying things to buy things and increasing your out-of-pocket. The third rule that I live by is if coupons or deals aren't working, say you get to checkout and you're expecting to pay $10 and a bunch of digital coupons aren't working, maybe the system is having some issues and technical problems, don't feel obligated to pay for it. Don't feel embarrassed. Void the transaction. There's always another deal. There's always another day. Deals are cyclical. So say you love Dove deodorant, there'll be another deal on that in the next couple weeks. So don't pay too much out of pocket or feel embarrassed to void a transaction.
And Bree,
it's not a big deal.
We're running out of time, but luckily with that graphic, we were able to see your 4th tip. Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us and teaching us some money-saving hacks. DBL Nation, to learn how you can save more and even take classes from the coupon queen herself, check out her website, BreeCouponQueen.com. Thank you so much, Bree. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Happy couponing.
Flexibility and
During the pandemic, the federal government sent Americans 3 stimulus checks, and the Biden administration remains adamant a 4th stimulus is not on the way. Now, some social media users say California is sending its residents stimulus checks, this time for inflation, with some wondering, what about those who live in the other 49 states? So, let's verify. Are some states sending out inflation relief checks? Our sources are California Governor Gavin Newsom, the California Budget Act of 2022, and the Departments of Revenue, Taxation, and Finance in these 11 states. In 2021, California collected more tax revenue than expected, leading to a historic $97 billion surplus. On June 26th, Newsom announced the state would refund a 5th of the surplus back to Californians in the form of an inflation relief package. Families could get more than $1,000 deposited into their accounts, depending on their income, and California isn't alone. Georgia announced in May that it would also issue a one-time tax refund while citing the high cost of inflation. Other states soon followed, and to date, 12 states have announced they're refunding money back to taxpayers, with many branding the refund as a way to help families with the cost of inflation. So, yes, some states are sending out inflation relief checks that are coming from tax surpluses. How much money and when the money will arrive depends on the policy for residents of the 12 states who are issuing the payment, so you'll want to check with them for details. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter answers your questions, clarifies what's true and false, and even includes a daily fun fact. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
Our next guests have what most of us could only dream of having. Get this, it's a reality show with your best friend where you eat, drink, and party all across the country. And if that wasn't enough, they also make people laugh for a living. Check out our interview with Adam Pally and John Gabris. Hello.
What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
I got to be honest with you, I'm super jealous. I've pitched this idea 142 ways. So God bless you guys. It got off the ground, but I'm going to jump right in. Drinking, eating, partying for a week long. Now I'm 44 years old. So out of you guys, who's usually the first to tap out after all that?
One of the joys of partying with a friend of yours for over 20 years is that you kind of know each other's limits or lack thereof. So you can kind of brace for wherever way the wind's going to blow on that certain night.
I would say frequently we would take turns being the one who was problematically wasted. But then every once in a while, we'd both dip our toes into that pool.
And that's when the crew would run.
The crew. So it's one thing to be best friends, but it's another thing to travel with your best friend. So you guys have to get sick of each other sometimes. What do you guys get sick of each other over?
What if we just got in a huge fight right now, Daily Blast? Is that what you want? You want us beefing? Yeah, here's your drama clickbait. Adam and Gabris fighting.
No, I don't think we get on each other's nerves because we already did that a while ago.
Yeah, like we've been friends for too long. It's like we're an old married couple. It's like, oh, Adam's gonna Adam. Oh, yeah. Gabris is gonna Gabris.
And then you just make the best of it.
Oh my God.
I love that. That's good. All right, you are in our very own backyard, Denver, and we all go out a lot. We would like to know, what do we not know about partying in our own city?
I'm sure you know everything there is to know, but what we found out is that the altitude does make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, you guys might be adjusted to it at this point, but it does help your bar tab be a little smaller.
Yeah. We found out that you can hit a beer garden by throwing a rock.
Yeah, you guys got plenty of outdoor spots to drink and then do some dumb physical activity at, too.
Yeah,
it's
we
like,
found everyone's doing stuff, throwing darts, playing cornhole, shooting pool. Like, no one's just drinking.
Yeah, we come from New York where, you know, it's just sitting and drinking. And in Denver, it's like, I have to play a sport while I have this double IPA.
Or you do, like, I pretend to hike and then just go to the brewery at the bottom. Like, I go for 10 minutes and then I go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys,
that's the move. You got to earn your beer.
Earn that.
Sounds like you guys nailed Denver right on the head. So not just Denver, you guys visit Maui, Moab, Miami, Puerto Rico, Portland, Richmond, Atlanta. Which city pushes you guys to the limits? You told us a little bit about Denver, but what was most fun for you guys?
Well, I think physically Moab, Utah pushed us the furthest.
Yeah, because that was the most we've ever been out of our comfort zone. We're like from New York. I'm a beach kid, city kid, and then we end up on horses or fly fishing, driving dune buggies through on like nearly vertical rock walls and stuff. It was terrifying, and that was the scariest to us, I would say.
Also, the cuisine in Moab was scary.
The Utah cuisine.
Everything is
a lot of
hearty
bison.
and thick.
Part of the job description is like signing your life away, driving up the side of that hill.
Well, the before you die part of the title is for real.
Okay, so we got to know, before we let you guys go, who made the biggest party foul while you guys were filming?
Party foul? I don't know. I think, honestly, I'm sure there were party fouls, but we're such vets. We're such pros at this point.
Man. Like fouling is part of the game, man. Rubbing is racing. That's just part of it.
You're gonna break some.
I'm gonna step on Adam's dope sneakers. We are gonna spill a whole beer. We are gonna lose Adam's cell phone in the car every single day.
I lose my phone every day too.
Yeah, I think Adam sounds like me.
We don't even call people on party fouls.
Because we are one.
Yeah, imagine guys who've been playing street ball for 40 years don't call fouls that often. That's us.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Thanks, Adam and John. We can't wait to see your debut as travel hosts. DBL Nation, 101 Places to Party Before You Die, premieres Thursday, July 14th on True TV. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
The dog days of summer are here, and so too are high utility bills. Many Verify viewers reached out with questions about ways they've heard to beat the heat. So we looked into whether they actually work. First up, will closing your blinds help keep your home cooler? So let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. Department of Energy and Lowe's. When sunlight hits double pane windows with the blinds open, the DOE says about 76% of it turns into heat. You can help lower that number by closing the blinds. Lowe's recommends using a white blind or shade because it will help deflect more heat. The DOE says the exact percentage saved also depends on the material of your blinds. For example, an insulated shade could reduce unwanted heat by up to 60%, while using just a white curtain will help reduce the heat by a third. So, yes, closing your blinds will help keep your home cooler. All right, next up is a question I frequently ask myself when heading to work. Does turning off the AC at home when I leave for the day save money? Admittedly, the answer to this question has a lot of variables, like where you live and how hot it is outside. Generally, our energy experts recommend leaving the air on during the day. Just turn it up a few degrees. Duke Energy explains you'll use less energy keeping your home at a modest temperature throughout the day, rather than blasting the AC when you get home to try and cool the house. Nebraska's Southwest Public Power District notes turning off your AC could cause your refrigerator to work extra hard to keep food cold, which would negate any savings from turning off the air. Plus, humidity levels may increase, leading to mold, mildew, and causing damage to electronics. So, no, in general, turning off the AC when leaving for the day does not save money. This brings us to our final question about staying cool. So, let's verify. Is there a right temperature to maximize savings? The DOE and Energy Star say setting the AC to 78 degrees is the ideal temperature to maximize savings when you're home. This is about 10% cheaper than setting it at 74 degrees. If you live in an especially warm area, then HVAC technicians recommend setting your AC 20 degrees cooler than the outdoor temperature to avoid straining your air conditioning. So, yes, there is a right temperature to maximize savings. We hope these tips help save you a bit of money this summer. We feature even more of your questions about staying cool on verifythis.com. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Turns out, mowing your lawn in different directions does a lot more than just make your grass look good. Let's connect the dots. According to the experts, the direction you push the mower can make or break your turf. That's because if you mow your lawn in the same direction every time, the grass blades will start to grow in that direction. By alternating patterns, you let the blades grow straighter and healthier. Switching directions also avoids rutting. That's because if you run your mower the same way each week, ruts will start to form. It's not just direction that matters, but length too. If you cut your grass too short, you can end up with dead or dying patches scattered across the lawn. Experts say every lawn is different, but you should generally cut your grass at about 2.5 to 3 inches tall.
Welcome back. Tori, you got some comments?
I sure do. Cecile says, I shop good deals at Trader Joe's.
Oh, Trader Joe's is great.
That little pamphlet, the little newspaper. And finally, Steven says, I'm not sure about the extreme couponing. It seems like you end up with 20 tubes of toothpaste you don't need.
That's Costco for you.
Yeah.
Jeff's an expert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
See you guys.
Where hope finds help. Where courage meets conviction. Where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities. Where national know-how backs local business. Be in good company with Tegna.
I know you lying. You are wrong as all get out.
Be honest about what you are, but don't get tough when BLM protesters are walking down the street.
I don't know how much time we have, but I'm about to go on this rampage really quick. Okay, 1 minute.
Who are you?
I'm Tori. Oh. I thought everyone knew. Sorry.
Don't you respect my opinions as well? I have to respect yours. Can't you respect mine? Raise the roof.
Yes.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
DBL is all new every day.